Welcome everyone back to my channel and your favorite little Lego cubbyhole on the internet. No, I don't have any Legos. I don't have any Legos, but I thought it'd be cheeky because it's Thursday. That means it's Friday Eve, everybody. Friday Eve is here. And I can't wait because I'm going out on a little trip. Yeah, gonna get out of the cubbyhole yet again, but not kidnapped by Jeep Daddy this time. Much to his chagrin, he's very upset that he's not getting to kidnap me yet again, but I'm gonna go see some family.
Well,
and,
it will happen
go do
again
some
at some
driving.
point. So let's just keep it real.
It will. And he's just so ready to go about Legos today. His tail is in a twist. His tail is in a knot, and I know why, because I was watching it almost at the same time, and it was funny to me.
Oh.
And our dear good friends on True Crime and Wine Time and Couch Court with Llama, they were talking about Legos today, and she said some things, and you know, I get it. Llama is not hip to the Mormon lingo yet. It's okay. It's totally okay. So she said some things about us being excommunicated, and I just snickered. I snickered the whole time, and I'm like, you know what? I should have a little fun with this. Let's leave a couple comments on both channels about how I need to defend my honor after being accused of being excommunicated, which is not true. I was not excommunicated, but damn, I kind of wish I was, because it'd be a great coffee conversation.
Sure
It'd be
would.
so much more fun if I could. I do not have that little gold star next to my name of being excommunicated. No, as exciting as it would have been being in a court of love, being condemned by Mormon brethren, because that's how it works. I was
no matter
not.
what people say.
I was not. No, I resigned my membership in 2021 after they found me. The Mormon Mafia found my current address and email, which was a step up from before. After years of being off their radar, they found me. I said, not interested, fellas. Oh, and by the way, I have a rainbow flag in my heart and soul, and I know how you guys feel about that. So they were quite eager to get rid of me, and I think it was within 7 days. I had my resignation letter from Salt Lake, from the Membership Records Department.
Damn.
It's like, oh, we don't want any of these gay people. Ooh, gay cooties. Icky. We don't want the gays. Go away. And so it was easy for them.
9 months to get mine after I first sent the email.
You know, I gave up because I tried to get rid of it. I tried to resign back in 2007-ish and tried to do the whole quitmormon.org thing and got nowhere. Even with all the notarized stuff, I was like, I am wasting my time and money trying to do this. So, and I didn't want to do the whole, well, okay, we'll fight it eventually, because it's like,
Yeah.
And they lost track of me at one point, but they found me. They found me they must have had spare time during COVID to go looking up people. So they found me, and it was, as St. Cheese says, while out on a walk, it was a mutual parting of ways. And it was kind of unusual for me, because never before have I had them find me and email me. The bishop of the local congregation that serves my specific area, he and the elders quorum president, who is over all the men, essentially, they both sent me an email welcoming me to the ward. And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Somehow my records got transferred there. That might be a conversation when I see family this weekend, because all the people who would know my address should be in attendance as when I see them over the weekend. So I might have to get to the bottom of this once and for all.
Wouldn't that be a really interesting, around the dinner table
Pops,
conversation?
Was it you, Sissy? Was it you? Did you guys tip them off, or they will go and find you just of their own volition, because that's what they do.
Well, and you said that this was around COVID-ish?
Yeah, it was 2021, fall of 21.
Yeah, I mean, they've gotten way more technically savvy since, and like they're able to, figure out how to use the interwebs and the beep bloops and all the tubes, and so they can, find people.
I'm surprised that they didn't find me sooner, but I'd sort of hoped that when the last time the missionaries came knocking on my door, and one of the two guys was the youngest brother of someone I served my mission around, and the conversation of why I left early and all that came out, and they left real quickly after that whole story came out.
That's brilliant.
So I had hoped that was going to be the end of it for a while, and I just didn't have to think about it. But no, they have a way of finding you. They have a way of finding you. Because that's what Mormons are wont to do. They want to keep you inside the fold.
Oh,
And
absolutely.
they don't want any wayward sheep. And as long as they can drag you back, they will.
Oh,
They
yeah.
will. So let's see. Hi to Say Cheese. Hi to Eat Broccoli. Lego. You know, it makes me want to talk about waffles. Lego, my ego.
Yes.
Eggo waffles. That brings back memories.
Sure
Sheebs.
does.
Hi, Sheebs. I'll be listening while I sleep and listen again when I awake. That's a way to do it. Eat Broccoli asks, am I a suppressive Mormon person?
Suppressive?
Personally or objectively? That's the question. Suppressive? No. I'm over it, even though I still have family that are deeply entrenched in it. It's one of those things. Let's see. No thanks, MK. Hey, no thanks. We should tell them Lego's gay so they'll give them back.
Yeah. I mean, that is a strategy.
That's not a bad idea.
Can I have my gay Legos back, please?
Can I have my gay Legos back? Yeah, not a bad idea. Ammon McNeff might wash his hands in gallons of sanitizer at that point of convince him of that. An evening, Ms. Wings. And yes, Jerp Dirty does have a cold.
I've been recovering, so I'm being good right
And
now.
sadly, it's not from kissing boys.
And I know. I'm drinking tea.
Yeah, tea is spiked with what?
Honey.
That's it? You don't have a little
I know I was being
alcohol spiked in your tea tonight?
good. No, not tonight, but I do just in case. Echoes drives me nuts. I've got this at the standby.
See,
got some shit to
don't let
talk
him
about
fool you,
later,
people.
folks.
Don't let him fool you. Say
But
Cheese
yes.
says, do you think they have invested in a fast people search or similar site? They have their own resources because their membership, the membership records are all digitized, and because Mormonism has gotten in bed with government agencies in certain ways, they have resources.
And their members will
Not the least of
gladly
which
give
being
over.
telecom networks they've personally they own. Bonneville Communications is one they own. That's a big branch. Bonneville owns lots of broadcasting and other communication services and for-profit ventures. I am certain there are data centers, if there are not already, being built for the Mormon Church. What do you think?
Wouldn't surprise me, but I'm sure that they just rent existing data center space out of one of the big ones and
Probably.
have like dedicated racks and stuff. But
Oh, it was a Scientology Mormon reference. Okay, yeah. Well, they kind of dribble into each other eventually.
it's all
Hi,
in high
Sheebs.
demand.
Sheebs
weird
says,
ones.
hoping I dream in Legos tonight. Ow, that sounds painful.
But just don't step on them.
Just don't step on them. I had some weird dreams last night. Oh, I was awake at 3:48 after
Oh,
weird
my.
dreams. And it kind of ended with me waking up. No, when your boss kicks you in the ass in your dreams, you do not tell them just to go away. You call 911. That's how I woke up.
Huh.
Yeah.
And here the one I always thought I was sick and having weird dreams, but no.
It was,
it's
it was a weird
clearly-
one. It seems like any time I take the melatonins, they get a little more colorful in the dreaming. And sometimes it wakes me up and then I can't get back to sleep and then it's over. So it's like,
Well, it'd be for some good novel writing for sure.
could be. Yeah, it was the strangest dream. It was like he was trying to get a coffee subscription on the internet or something and thought I locked him out of the office. Like, I'm going to kick your ass. And he did. And that's when I woke up like, no, we call the police. We do not tell them to go away and that they're finished. There are laws here. No, it was funny how I was kind of talking to myself in the half asleep state. It's like, no, we do not just let them go away. We file a police report.
Yeah.
Come on. So it was kind of funny to me, but it's like,
Well, when you're on
this
that
is-
level of, when you're on that dimension floating around in another universe, it's like even some wacky shit can occur. Very, very wacky shit.
and sometimes it's way too permissive. It's like, nope, there will be boundaries even in my dreams.
It's permissive.
Even if I can't control them.
Permissive in our sort of puritanical sort of, comparison place here in these lovely United States of whatever, under his eye. I don't know.
May the Lord open, or however that goes. Yeah. So let's see. Let's start with item number 1, which is just going to be a quick digression, not about Legos, because I can. And this dropped earlier today. We're not going to touch on it much because there just isn't time. And there's a 40-something page filing from Mark Randazza about David the Douche Canoe.
Fucking douche canoe.
I have not got to use that button in a while. And the updates to the Arizona State Bar versus David Gingras, the motion to dismiss is denied and there are additional filings. Let's just, I'll
delicious.
just read the at Clayton's Justice Reddit thing just for the sake of touching on it. And then we'll talk about Legos.
Let's do.
Because I know you should have seen the texts back and forth between me and Jeep Daddy earlier today,
boy.
folks. He got pretty excited. He's like, okay, we can do a live tonight. Even though I'm still sick and tired, I will
sound like an old smoker woman. Or
you
Harvey
could,
Feinstein.
Hey, Wazowski. You could do a Hoboken Jan, like Bacon does, with your stuffy nose. And again, this is from Clayton's Justice on the internet. I probably could have also tagged Owen's stuff in this quick episode, but since it's just a little appetizer for this evening, I decided just to make it more about Legos than about Laura Owens and try to, when you bifurcate at the same time and try and bring them together, it just gets messy. So just very quickly, you can also see some of this on the subreddit. The schedule was reset due to the unexpected tragedy of David Jingis' wife. May she rest in peace. And the emergency motion to continue that was filed May 27 of this year was granted by the court the same day. Final case management conference and the entire multi-day evidentiary hearing, originally set for June or early July, were completely vacated in May. The appeal clock is ticking. The judge's court ruling denying the anti-SLAPP motion was filed on June 22 of 26. This filing triggered a strict 30-day window for either side to file a petition for special action to the Arizona Supreme Court. What happens next? This completely rewrites the case timeline. No new trial dates will be set until that 30-day appeal window expires late July 26. If neither side appeals, the court will draft a new trial track that must be scheduled around Senior Bar Counsel Jim Lee's pre-filed block of unavailability from August 9 to August 25. Everything is officially on pause until late July. Response to State Bar Briefs. State Bar's brief. Golly, I'll get there. Applicability of ARS to lawyer discipline proceedings filed by Mark Randazza on behalf of defendant David Jingers. And that's the one that drones on for 40-some pages, which I'm actually eager to read, but not tonight, folks. Not tonight. So,
we will
two
get
Legos.
There. We will
to
get
the Lego. We'll get there.
We will end up getting there.
And if I'm feeling spunky, maybe the weekend, but I also got to do some laundry. So, I've got things to do this weekend too when I get back. From just a brief little sojourn outside the cubbyhole.
Yes.
We'll see. And then if Jerp Dirty's up to Dingus the douche canoe nonsense, I might have to pre-read that filing and see if there's some juicy stuff. Or if it's just wah, 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 wah. Where's your button? Where's your button?
The typical.
Wah, wah, wah.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see what the mood strikes us over the weekend if there's any time. Okay, Legos. Well, maybe I should preface the following. Oh damn!
Oh,
I forgot. I didn't play the.
Naughty.
Okay, hang on.
Now's your time.
The following podcast contains opinion and commentary protected under the First Amendment and fair use, as well as public records and freedom of information laws. The content may include adult themes, adult concepts, and adult language not suitable for all audiences. For the safety of all, no viewer should ever engage with, interact with, seek out, or contact in any way persons being discussed, including those under criminal prosecution, and especially those that state,
"It's not like I've gone and killed somebody!"
Viewer discretion is advised. That's what I get for not putting things in order down in the tray. Everything is just all higgledy-piggledy down in the studio tray. What am I going to do?
Get your
Terrific.
shit together, Echoes. Get your shit together. That's what you
that's what I didn't do downstairs. Oh, the pre-show bathrooming. Well, whatever.
Wow, we're really
where do we
intimate on
begin?
this.
Where do we begin? Do we begin with... Well, okay, maybe I should preface by saying both Jeep Daddy and I watched the wonderful episode by the amazing Llama and Buffy of True Crime and Wine Time and the new secondary channel Couch Court with Llama.
Go follow,
y'all. Now you have to follow two things at once. And I hang out in the Couch Court stuff because that's the new one. And, I go and tease people in the other chat because I'm over in the other one. Yeah, it feels like an exclusive VIP, so that's why I hang out in the smaller one. And Buffy and Llama had the last relic, who was a former Bricks and Minifigs franchise owner.
Yep.
And not only is he a former franchise owner, folks, he is also a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, the LDS Church, or more colloquially known as the Mormon Church.
The Mormons.
Now, I should also add to that there are other branches not related to the Salt Lake City Corporation Church who also consider themselves Mormon, but their theology is a little bit different. Their polity, their leadership structure is different. Yep. But they still use that term too. And when people refer to Utah, Salt Lake City Mormonism as being the Mormon church, these other branches of Mormonism take exception to that.
Yes. And I want to for the record point out that while Echoes and I were in the chat and we're passing some text back and forth, first of all, this
Jeep Daddy is revved up tonight, folks. So, Jeep Daddy is revved up.
Despite having a cold, I'm just going to sound sassier with this voice. Okay, that's all it's going to be. But
that could work.
This bitch sitting here next to me text me and be like, "You need to tune in to Llama and Buffy because they've got a hottie on." Which I should do anyway.
He is. He's adorable.
He was.
As Sage Cheese said, he's a cutie patootie.
He was.
He can't help himself.
He can't.
He's still got the squeaky clean Mormon missionary look even.
He's got that look. He's got that
squeaky
innocence.
Clean.
He's got that, all of it. Right. And so like, okay, fine. I'll see what, I'll see what this is all about. And so then I'm like, oh, well, hello. And so start participating. I mean, I always participate in chat as best I can when corporate daddy's not, trying
breathing
to crawl
up your shorts
a little bit. Yeah, exactly. So anyway, there's conversation because Relic hasn't exactly said anything about being an active member of the church.
It took him how long? Over 2 hours for that to come out. 2.5 hours.
It was just about 2.5 hours for him to say that. But in the meantime, Echoes and I are in the back exchanging text going like, because I called it. I said, I think that this kid's Mormon because he hasn't said a swear word.
I
he
forgot.
hasn't done, he's too clean cut. He's like, not, he's using certain language. He's using certain this, and Echo's just like, no, the way that he talks is something else. Like he's talking about people and blah, 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 blah. That's not, no, he's not.
He was quite blunt for a member. Quite blunt.
Although
I should have been clued later on when he said friggin', and I went, uh-oh.
Uh-huh.
Utah
ding,
words.
ding, ding. Yeah.
I wasn't tuning into that.
Swear words.
Yeah, I wasn't clued into the missionary swear words.
So probably because you were distracted by your corporate daddy. So anyway, I called it. I was right. Echoes was wrong. He admitted it. I have it in writing, but I called that shit.
I also didn't hear the whole episode. There was about 2 or 3 hours between where I had to get off the stream, and I've got to do real work now and listen
I had
to
go
the
do real
boss
work too. So like that last whole half of which I'm going to talk about here in a bit, because I didn't hear him admit live on stream because I had to go. I was actually late for a meeting.
You and me both, and we stopped about in the same place too, which is
I think so. Yeah. So like, I get distracted.
TX is in the chat.
TX is here in the house.
She's here for the snarky Jeep daddiness.
You're just in time, girl, because
his throttle is throbbing tonight. I'm trying to come up with references. Is it working?
Okay. I have a drink, honey. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So anyway, we both stop around the same time. Now I get totally distracted with corporate daddy stuff. Then I get this text that I think it was from, it was either from you, Echoes, or I got a side note from TX that said something about the dear lad admitted to being LDS, and I'm like, I need proof.
Oh, lots of people are coming after you with that tidbit of information. Then.
And then
I wasn't sure because he was in Florida. He was in Tampa or someplace, and went, okay, that's unusual. It just not enough of the red flags went up for me at the right time.
You were just too distracted. I think if you actually weren't as distracted with whatever you had going on,
I was being talked at every 2 minutes, and I was missing every other word. So I probably missed everything. So I need to go back and watch it again.
Yeah, go back and watch. And then I get a note, I think from you, that said that Llama said we were X'd, and I'm like, oh. Okay.
as an excommunicated, which is a
Excommunicated.
big to do in Mormonism.
That is a big to
It's-
do, and we're going to get into that a little bit.
I dare say it's worse than Catholicism. Because in the Mormon church, when you're excommunicated, it comes with lots of subtexts
Yes.
where people are free to assume, oh, did they diddle children? Oh, did they cheat on their wife? Oh, did they murder somebody? It's usually the most extreme that people assume when you get excommunicated, because that's what the church cultures you to believe.
And the funny
And they
thing
culture
is,
you not to want to ever be excommunicated or disfellowshipped.
It
That's
is.
one of the other buzzwords.
well, and disfellowship
They've
is different,
started
right?
changing the words to be more palatable, with the media always breathing down their shorts.
Well, and let's be
Carry
real.
on. I could say more, but keep going.
There's a difference between being disfellowshipped, because that's a temporary state, and that's where like you are put on basically a probation where you can't partake in the sacrament, you can't give public prayer, you can't go and
It's a
hold
form of
callings.
shunning.
It's a form of shunning, but it's temporary while you do your penance, as Catholics know it, or go and do your repentance basically, and then you can go back and be a full blown Mormon again without a whole lot of pomp and circumstance. When you get excommunicated, you are literally kicked out. And for some people, that's a really big deal. And you think about it from like the Jehovah's Witness perspective, or I don't think it's Seventh-day Adventist or this bad, but it's definitely this way with the Jehovah's Witnesses. You literally are like, you're shunned to the point that they won't even acknowledge your presence. So like if you get X'd, and this could be as bad as like coming back from a mission early in disgrace.
Guilty.
And that's literally what they would call it, right? Is
Guilty.
Like you
I came back early.
You came back early. And so like,
I sure did.
There'll always be this thing about like, oh, what did he
And it was not because I found a cute boy to make out with. Damn it. Although there were some. There were a few. They were all from Utah, but.
Yeah. So anyway.
No, we'll get into my mission stories more at some point. Because, well, I mean, they're sort of interesting.
Right. So, anywho's, I go and I look at I want the time reference. So I start scrolling through and I start listening to things at like 1.75 in the replay. Cause I'm like, where did this actually happen? Cause I wouldn't think that Llama would make an error like that. Because Llama's been on a stream with us when we've talked about us resigning and all that stuff. Now, forgiveness to Llama, because again, we're talking with
It was late.
Echoes and I are
It was
inside,
late. It was past her bedtime.
It was past her bedtime.
She probably had a whole bottle of wine that evening.
Probably. I think she actually admitted
stuff
to
happens.
it. But basically, she doesn't understand the nuances between that. So like, because it shows in a couple comments or questions that she had for Relic, which we'll get into because I'm going to read some quotes and I have some responses to the things that were said there. But basically, I went to go find that. Well, in the meantime, for searching for the moment in which Llama says that Echoes and I are ex-Mormons that were excommunicated, there were some interesting things that were actually said on the stream. And I'm like, back the fuck up. Rewind. And so I went back at 1x speed and I listened to this stuff. And I was absolutely gobsmacked at some of the stuff that I'd heard. Now, up to this point, I had only watched up till about that time that Echoes and I had talked about, which everything was fine. It was like, okay, whatever. We're talking about the store. We're talking about what happened. I'm sitting there in disbelief because we're getting into like territory where there's like
here. Buffy is watching.
Uh-oh. Hi, Buffy. Don't worry, this isn't a Buffy roast, okay?
No, it's not a roast of anybody.
It's not a roast. Well, it's a little bit of a roast of...
Well, maybe for you for Relic, but I had a good giggle at all of it.
I
did.
I got wound up about this. I fully admit
He did. He was really wound up.
And so when I rewound all the way back and I started listening to this, I was just like, what's going, because okay, again, I'm repeating myself a little bit, but blame the cold. It was all about the issues with the store, and it was about the bullshit that corporate was putting on it. And we were talking about, they were talking about the corporate shenanigans. They were talking about Reckless Ben's video that was released on YouTube yesterday or the day before. and some of the recklessness, no pun intended there, that he was doing with some of his language and stuff. But like, I was learning things about what actually would happen at these stores because Relic was there. I mean, he showed up when they had a U-Haul literally shoving product into the back of a fucking U-Haul, hauling
Isn't
it
that
somewhere.
wild? There's a method of operation, a modus operandi
what
going on here.
What the shit is going on? Because this isn't just about missing inventory. This is literally like showing up with a fucking truck
Bam
and like
shenanigans. Bam shenanigans.
so like
Questionable business practices, in my opinion.
And it's like after a hostile corporate takeover of a fucking store. Because like Relic was telling a story about how he had a good following on social media. He had good workers. He had upstanding contracts, et cetera, et cetera. And then
A store that was to die for, apparently. Did they show
Apparently
any
so.
pictures of his store?
not that I
didn't
saw.
notice.
I didn't see.
Oh, there's Llama. Hey, girl. Hey, girl. Hey.
Hey.
I would love to have seen the inside of his store because it's probably, it sounded
I
like
bet it
you
was
walked
immaculate.
through, what did he say? Was it a Death Star? And some kind of thing that sounded like,
I mean, the Death Star that's
the
out
guy
there is
understands some theatrics when it comes to selling product. Good for him.
I mean, good for him. But like, anyhow, that's where we left off. And so I thought nothing of the lesser. Like, I just thought that, oh yeah, that like I was making jokes in the chat as I'm wont to do about like, oh, well, maybe they wouldn't have bothered you if you'd actually taken the discussions or like decided to go to church or something like that. And I mean, they never made it on screen. You never acknowledged.
Buffy says his store is beautiful and he shows photos on one of his streams. I'm going to have to go looking. You want to keep talking? Maybe I'll go look.
You go look. Yeah. So, I go back and then I listen past the point in which I was there and I rewind to, and I've got time. I went a little crazy.
Wound up, folks. He was wound up.
I was
not wound up, other than I did tease Llama in the comment section for saying I was excommunicated. And Llama sent a very kind email in Discord. Yeah. I said, girl, you're fine. Girl, you're fine. But did you notice a couple of things about how Relic kind of reacted to some things?
Yeah.
I talked about a couple other items, but
so
we're cool. Llama and I are fine. Cool. Buffy and I, we're all fine.
We're all fine.
Even Jeep
good.
Daddy's fine. He's just a little bit salty today with his sniffles. And some of the Mormon speak that Relic was trying to sell got Jeep Daddy in his knickers in a twist. And I'm here for that.
All right, folks. So my teacup is empty, so we're going to the real teacup because fuck this.
Oh, it's getting cereal. It's seriously cereal now.
Oh
serious?
I have not. Look, I've had a cold. I've not had a drink in 3 days, and this tastes really fucking good. So, anyway.
Well, don't they say alcohol is good to clear out the germs?
Hey, this is Grandpa's cough syrup for a reason. It's medicinal.
No, aren't you supposed to chug it for it to be medicinal? Who said that?
Oh God, that would just hurt, even on a good day.
There's another gay Mormon movie I'm thinking about. Chug it. No, that's not what she said. There's a name for that when you just down it fast. What is it?
That's just take a shot.
Do you know the movie? The Latter. Was it Latter Days?
Latter Days? Was it that?
Yeah. He's sitting there with his the restaurant lady owner.
Oh.
And the guy with the longer hair, the love interest, and the non-Mormon love interest, who's suffering through heartbreak, and she pours him a little drink and toss it. Then it's medicinal. That's what she said.
Oh, okay. I don't remember that line.
Talking about heartache with a couple of slugs in him.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that movie in a while.
The first thing that sort of tipped me off, tipped.
Llama wants to come and crash. Yes, you may, Llama. Do you still have the link? Same link as always.
By all means.
Come on in. Would love to chat with you, hun.
So anyway, I'm listening to this at the 1x speed, and the first thing I hear, and I'm not taking notes at this point because I just, whatever, I don't give a shit at this point. But he makes a comment after he admits that he's Mormon, and I get done like blowing up Echoes' phone around, I was right. Because I was right.
I gave him his moment.
I was right. Okay. And I'm gloating. I'm going to gloat for the rest of this episode until he kicks me off the stage. But anyway.
I don't care. So I can't be right 100% of the time.
That's
exhausting.
Oh, yeah. It's so hard to be humble too, isn't it? Anywho's,
no,
he says,
Real.
Hey, just hang on. Just hang on.
We're
Hang
not.
on.
We're not hating yet. We're
Hang
not
on.
hating. There's no hate. Just
on.
observations.
So he's talking about how he went on his mission, and he says, I was saying like, oh, we call them, like he's talking about his companion, and they had his companion had a rule, and and like to Mormons, that's just no big deal, and to people who've been around Mormons, it's like, oh, that's just your mission companion, because like the rule is you're never alone on your mission. You always have at least one other person, and the only time that you can be by yourself is when you're taking a shit or when you're taking a shower.
That's 100% true.
And the only and that
having done it,
that other person better be within listening distance in case they hear a little bit of bump, 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 bump going in there, and then they'll be like, Elder, stop it. Anyway.
Don't be touching yourself. We could talk about that later.
We could. So he says, oh, well, we call them companions. It's the person you're with. I'll say.
Do you want any video references as you go along? Because I've got it queued up.
No, it's fine. I mean, you can if you want.
All right.
But he's like, I've got it all quoted. Like these, this isn't paraphrasing. This isn't Chat GPT going and
it's
like
from
the robots doing it. I
transcript,
literally went in and hand typed every word because I wanted to make sure that I had this correct. So,
she's here.
Here we go.
She's here. We need hey, now it's a fun-a-trois.
Yes.
It's a chat-a-trois.
Can you hear me? We're
yes.
good. All right.
Yeah. Can you hear us? Testing. Testing.
I got you. Hi.
Yeah.
Hey, girl.
Hi. I just got done watching Big Brother and it pissed me off. So I was like, I'm going to come talk about something else and not think about it right now.
Daddy said, there's going to be no one on because it's like Big Brother season, whatever night. And I went, whatever, I don't care. You're the one who got all Twitter pated and in a twist over this thing. So
it's my fault, basically.
This is Jeep Daddy's stream more than mine.
Yeah, well, for the next little while here. And depending on how many digressions we go down. But,
sure. Again, I just want to
don't apologize to me.
No,
don't apologize to me. You're
good,
fine.
Girl. You're good.
I know nothing about nothing. I just
it's a safer place to be. It's a safer place to be.
Yeah.
E. Broccoli asks, did you two go on missions? I did. Jeep Daddy did not.
I did not.
And mine was not the full 2 years because, my mission president wanted me to consider electroshock therapy for a lot of things. And so I got out.
Yep.
I said, I'm done.
And the only reason I know as much about the missions and the missionaries that I do is because I was trying to convince myself that I still believed in this. And so when I was still active duty in the Army and I had time, I would go and spend time doing what they call splits with the missionaries. But in my case, we didn't do splits. We went out as a
you're not supposed to say the word splits.
Oh, is that not it? Oh no.
Well, even during my time, they were, don't use that word, it's like sexual. So it's companionship exchanges was the new term. Not splits.
Sexual word? I need a new dictionary apparently for this case because I don't know what
you do. Mormonism has so much of its
gross
own
word dictionary.
It's got so much of its own code speak. I mean, you have the code switching. I still do to this day.
That's so interesting. Again, you guys know I don't have any experience with people that were in the Mormon community, or I just don't know anybody. So there is a whole entire dictionary that we need.
Yeah.
Wow.
And, real O'Bride. I'm sorry, I'm going to fuck that up, but blame the cold. Yes,
you're probably
that is real.
Than I am.
It's real.
Yeah.
That is a real thing that is used as a method to for those that have same-sex attraction to assuage
while it was
them and
never
to change.
said specifically, my mission president was a psychologist and a lecturer at BYU, Idaho, formerly known as Rick's College. So he was my mission president, and just about everyone on our mission, and in our mission area, which is a whole geographic area. I was called to the Alaska Anchorage mission in 2001.
I didn't know there was BYU in Idaho.
Yes, and also Hawaii and a couple other little places. There's also BYU Jerusalem. They've dotted a few here and there. They're not all as big as Provo. Provo's the big BYU, but there's other ones.
Okay.
Idaho is the second largest, if I'm not mistaken.
Wait, so Provo City is where BYU is?
Correct. And the Missionary Training Center for the church, which is an adjunct of BYU property in Provo. Actually, they're using part of BYU campus because they're building a new missionary training center right now.
I didn't know that.
It's all within the confines of the Mormon Dome.
Sure.
And a new Provo Temple, which is across the street from where the Missionary Training Center was.
Jesus Christ, as though they need another one.
We went there
down
several times when I was at the MTC, at the Provo Temple, the old one. And we got to see all 3 of the old movies from the 70s, the 80s, and the 90s. Golly Moses. Oh,
wow.
the stories. The stories, folks.
Yeah, so...
Sorry, I'm crashing Jeep
apparently-
Daddy's parade here while I'm...
So apparently, he said, to clarify, he's like, we call them companions. That's just the person you're with. But I'll say my friend, so it sounds less gay.
Yeah.
That was funny.
And I was like...
It's like, oh, bro, you're showing it. Don't show your Mormon homophobia. Stop it.
Okay, maybe I need to listen
Mormonism
a
is
little closer
uncomfortable
now.
with the gays.
Because like Buffy, when I
mean-
not Buffy, I need Buffy here. But
I know, it's late
yeah, I
for
need my
her.
I need
It's
my
like-
slide kick. I know and she's got family shit to do. But like,
But we are wanting to plan a weekend, like early
Yeah.
evening stream with you
Mhm.
guys
let's
Love
do
to.
it.
very soon.
Love to.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Well,
didn't mean to
so-
interrupt you.
No, all good.
We're just glad to have you hang out. That's okay.
I know.
I'd love
Because
to have
I,
you.
despite Jeep Daddy's thing, I enjoyed Relic's candor
Yeah.
and his, because so far he's the first Mormon with integrity to say, okay, these guys are douchebags.
Yeah.
I
This
mean,
is a
I-
problem. And I know they're my own people, but these guys are douchebags and how they run their business.
Yeah.
It's like,
No,
oh,
and he was actually
bravo,
brutal.
bravo, that's
he
progress.
was way more honest and way more direct about that than I would expect another like Mormon to be against the the institution there.
I mean, I was surprised when he said he was.
Hmm.
I mean, that's to each their own, but I was like, oh, that's I just wasn't considering the story around it and whatnot. So I do think to that extent, I know the complaints, yes, very much so, but I was like, oh, okay, so you don't actually mind speaking out about this.
He speaks out to a point, and I mean,
Sure.
and what I was saying before you hopped on to the stream here is that
Yeah, because I haven't listened to you guys yet.
everything that he said while I was listening, and even during like some of my commentary and stuff before I got distracted by work, it was like that's above board, and I was really like I appreciated the stories. I was gobsmacked around like him telling stories about that fucking U-Haul showing up and just like shoving product in. I'm like, what the fuck? So like, it's just like there was a lot of guys, and so this isn't like a completely shit on Relic thing for a lot of it, but there are some things within a space of about 30 minutes there that like when I started hearing that, 'cause the fast backstory is I was looking for when Echoes told me that you claimed that we were X'd, I started listening to the rest of it at like 1.75 2x speed to like find where that was and be like, did she really say that?
I did.
Yeah, and
Because
you
I
did,
didn't
'cause I
know.
found it. Yeah, and that's
Yeah,
okay.
I didn't know the
It's okay.
difference between
Yeah.
that.
But, like-
It
But they
was funny to
corrected
me.
me.
Yeah,
I'm
but-
sure.
But I tripped
I'm
on
sure
the
it
thing
was, but
is
yeah.
I tripped on. I never found it at the beginning of this because I tripped on a lot of this language that Relics was using throughout, and it started with that comment. I'm just going to call him my friend because it doesn't sound as gay, and I'm like, okay, there's something more going on here. So
There's some issues.
I rewound again, and I opened up notes, and I started taking notes.
Because that's what he does.
I love you. I was
neuro-
gonna say that sounds so. You're so
The
much like me sometimes.
neurospiciness is on point
Yeah.
for him.
And I went down a full-on ADHD fueled rabbit hole. Like all the incident response security things kicked in, and I'm like, okay, fuck this guy. I'm doing timestamps, names, I'm making quotes. And so I went through and I slowed it down all the way to about 0.3 so that I
Oh,
could
my.
get every fucking word that guy said.
Mhm.
And then I made comments. And so I started in my little notes here. So number one was the whole companions, just my friend's gay thing.
I'm surprised you don't have an AI transcription thing.
I
It's
almost
like, no, I
did.
fucking mean business this
I
time.
actually went after. I went to
He
see. I
wanted
actually
to-
went to see if the live had the transcript on it, and it didn't. Because what I was going to do was
No, because
copy
it was
that.
too,
and
it was
then
still rendering.
It was
too
still new. It was still too new.
Oh, okay. I was gonna
I
say, I
think
thought we
Daddy just
have
want-
that, but okay.
He just wanted to finger pummel every last word he said, I think.
Well,
Yeah.
I was impatient, and I'm like, I'm just going to do this the way that I know how to get it done because I like. Echoes and I might, at that time, it was like Echoes and I might go live tonight. So I'm just like,
Yeah.
I need this done in the fashion I know I can get it done. So that's
Sure.
why I did that. But I almost did have like notes or voice memo doing like a whole transcription of it and then proofing it. So the next point was that when you talked about serving a mission, that boys usually serve for 2 years. Like usually males serves a mission is 2 years, females serve 1.5 years. I think that's still true.
Yeah.
So I don't think I don't think
now-
the ladies don't do 2 years. That's not the change. They changed the age to 18.
That's correct.
So instead of 19.
Because we want the women to get married.
Right. Don't give them the
Oh,
opportunity
that's
don't give them
why.
the opportunity to go to college. Give them the opportunity to go do their mission
And then get married.
Go straight into getting married and start making babies.
Okay.
The old joke about BYU is that the ladies go for their MRS degree.
Oh, the missus.
Yep. That's the old joke. And my sister kind of fell into that trap, but unlike some of the other young ladies who get caught at BYU and get married while they're students there, she finished. She finished her degree.
Right.
And strangely enough, she's the one supporting her husband right now with her career. Or at least
that's
last
not
I
good.
checked.
That's no
Well,
bueno.
he was an HR for I don't want to say too much, a cinema chain. I'll leave it that much.
Okay.
And her degree was in science, and she taught science. She worked in labs, and then eventually went into healthcare. And she makes darn good money right now.
Good
For
on
what she
her,
does in
then.
healthcare. Well, really good.
Some of that
Her
strictness
husband's kind of
around,
trying to find his way now that they're empty nesters.
and some of that strictness around like the woman shall work and be a homemaker and stuff. Some of that shaking loose just a little bit, but given the opportunity, there would absolutely be like the traditional 1950s, like the father goes out and earns the money, and then like the wife is home, doing the things and taking care of the family and like blah 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 blah. So
It erases text packet. It's an erasable pen. These are amazing. If I could nerd out, these are Pilot Frixon
Ooh, those are new.
erasables.
I've not tried
And
those.
dude, it works so well. Like it literally, like I've seen erasable. Aimiss got me hooked on these. She sent me like so many packs of
Nice.
them. They literally do erase. It's perfect because I'm a pen
That
writer,
used to be
but
my
I'm a
jam.
perfectionist.
That used to be my jam, erasable pen back in the day.
If I mess up, tear the page out. Go again. That's why I have such nice handwriting. 'cause
Buffy
I'm
also worked in
ridiculous.
movies. Interesting.
I worked in cinema for a little while. I did concessions in box office.
Yeah, they are amazing.
He wasn't a lowly theater worker. He was corporate HR. Yeah.
So
That's what he
after
did.
that point, Lama, you were asking about and making comments about the Utah culture and like how there's
Yeah.
a specific and unique culture there in Utah. And his response was 229:35. He said, quote, "There's a culture in there that completely sucks. That even the head of the church has condemned the culture of Utah. It's ridiculous that you guys are acting this way because it goes against the belief." Now, I don't recall
Partly true.
ever hearing the president of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints ever being that strident about the culture of Utah.
I'm not sure
The
that
current one.
Nelson ever did, who was the previous old man in charge.
But what about Oaks?
Oaks, as far as I know, has not. But I don't pay attention to every word they say anymore.
Right.
And usually statements like that are made in general conference twice a year, broadcast from Salt Lake with the Tabernacle Choir and the whole thing, which is
The
for
official
members
conferences and
all
the
the select leadership, primarily white men over the age of 70. Inspire the membership for twice a year.
So that's a
in
real
October and April.
strident. That's a real strident claim to make.
But there have been others.
That the tippy top of the church, the one that supposedly literally talks to God every day,
Right.
would say something that the church, that he would say that I condemn the culture of Utah and you shouldn't be treating people like that because it's
There have
against
been
the
leaders
belief.
that have touched on that as part of their conference talks, but I couldn't tell you
I
who.
Can I
just-
right
ask
now.
what parts they have talked to? Like what specifically? I mean, I've never been to Utah. I don't know shit about.
It's in
you know,
very
any of
loose
that, but, like-
general terms of being kind to people and that sort of thing. It's never so specific as some of you people are committing business fraud and you need to stop it.
And I mean, some of
That
the things
does
they
not
would also
happen.
say, it would also say things like when they're, because like General Conference is a big deal, and so there's a lot of cars and there's a lot of traffic, and so they will remind you at the end to like
be kind
and like be patient
courteous.
on the roads. Not because I mean there
Because
are
people
some
in Utah
really,
drive like bats out of hell.
oh my God, there's some of the worst fucking. I mean, everybody says that.
You
about
know that
every
joke,
place,
right?
What?
No.
Everyone in drivers in Utah are trying to get to the celestial kingdom the fastest because they break every speed law they can come up with.
Lead foots. They're lead
terrible.
foots.
That's
They're horrid.
interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So I get that there's some that they dance around it, but like to lay a claim that the head of the church has spoken against the culture of Utah, I don't think so.
Not that I know. I would have to do a lot of research too.
Same.
And if he had a reference, I would love to read it.
Yeah, I'd love to hear.
But
Where he, like, quote me, quote
I have to
quote him
cuddle
out
up
of the
to that
ensign,
guy and say, "Hey,
a talk, like something, like quote what it is that you're claiming here. Source. So then,
text packet, yeah, it's like, I got your back, guys. They're right. Wow, that's wild.
yeah,
the Wasatch Front freeways can be dangerous.
it can be.
Got to be on a swivel driving through there." Yeah.
So then he goes on right following that 229:51 when we're talking about the church's involvement. And so this is where it gets starting to get a little thick. This is a longer quote. Quote, "The church might be aware, but they're not involved. I'd say any name that's thrown out there should be investigated. That's not a crazy thing to say. If they're using the church's name, the church should be investigated. That's not a problem. But they don't have anything to hide. I think it's just people trying to run with, oh yeah, this goes deep into religion and whatnot. No, it doesn't. There's garbage people in every fandom, creed, religion, race. Don't matter. So if somebody is ever using the name of any religion, that's on them," which you agreed with. I also agree with that. But what he's trying to do is deflect the bias that is extraordinarily clear in the culture aspects. Yes, Salt Lake City Inc. is probably not directly involved with Bricks and Minifigs as a legal business entity. I'll give him that. But to tell me that this isn't some sort of culture thing where where Ammon and all of those people have favoritism because they're members, where they have favoritism with the American Fork Police Department, with the Provo Police Department, with the owners, with any franchise owner that may or may not be Mormon, or anybody
possibly
that comes
with
in between
judges
them,
and the
possibly
judiciary.
with judges and other family members and all that stuff. No.
I mean, yeah, I
Not a thing,
respectfully
honey.
disagree with that remark because just I don't buy that story
Yeah.
in my opinion.
I'm sorry,
of
Relic, but
things
you
at
are
all. But
Relic, you are flat fucking wrong on that, okay? And
I don't-
it's
I mean-
not, again, it's not the church. I'm not saying that the institutional church is involved or any of their business entities. I am saying it is the culture.
mhm.
It is the bias. It is the same thing. And you even debunk your own shit a little later on, which I'm going to call you out on too.
Oh, okay.
He's spicy against
Spicy
Relic
Jeep
tonight.
Dad. I mean, honestly, I'm here because I'm interested to learn more. Yeah,
Well, this is
again,
nuance,
Fun.
right?
I know Zippy's up about anything, and
Llama
I
is
do
a
find it very
sponge.
interesting. I am.
Llama
absolutely
learns. Llama learns from Jeep Daddy tonight, folks.
I am. I'm here for Llama Learns for some educating.
Oh my
'cause I
goodness.
do believe that this is a very big part of the story.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
I know that it probably is. That's my own opinion on
Yeah,
this.
and you were an
I
amazing
don't
hostess
know.
for sure, like with that and being
Oh, thanks.
kind and everything to that. So you did phenomenal in that.
But
So,
I want to know more about, because I can't fully understand the possibilities, right? Without also knowing about this inner world. Now, I'm not saying I think that the head of the church is, putting out statements for Bricks and Minifigs or anything like that. But some people somewhere that are connected by their religion are
because
in bed with one another. It is that way, but I don't know enough about it.
And it's somebody like Reckless Ben for his faults and how he's done this sort of expose, if you will. He is not a Mormon. He's an outsider. And so what happens is he's coming in as a threat. And what they're doing is this proverbial act called circling the wagons, which is a term from the old pioneer days. When there was a threat or something, they would take all their covered wagons and they would put them in a circle so that it would actually protect them, like anything in the middle.
Sure.
And this is exactly what they're doing when he went, even with all the evidence, to the police departments and the videos where it's so obvious to people like you, myself, Echoes, anybody with saneness that's looking at that and saying, like, we left when they asked, even if it was the second time around, we left. And we never said anything about, we're going to burn the building down, even though that's what he fucking claimed to the police department.
Right.
And they believe him. The police department believes him. Why? Because insider versus outsider. Threat
Tribalism.
versus somebody safe. It's the tribe.
Yeah, it's a very common mentality for millennia. Humans are very susceptible to it. And it's usually religion that really makes
Usually
people
it is.
tribal.
And the Mormons
it doesn't matter which one, pick one.
The Mormons are pros at this. They are by far, like, because like it's often compared to like the Catholics, and I think he was comparing some Catholic stuff in there too at some points. And I'm like, yeah, but you can go home if you hear a sermon over the pulpit from your local priest, or even like a bishop or a cardinal, and you're like, I don't know if I believe that. You can go home, you can sit down with your family at the dinner table, and you can say, I don't think that was true, and so we don't believe the things that person just said, even though they're the one wearing the robe and the big stupid fucking hat and shoes. Like it's like, and that's not going to get you excommunicated. It's not going to get you in trouble. But if you do that in the Mormon church, that will absolutely get you on the discipline council, and that will absolutely get you in trouble.
It doesn't apply anymore. There's quite a few centuries where that's not entirely true. But yes, I agree.
Yes.
I mean, I don't know much about Catholicism either. It wasn't. It's not. None of this is my wheelhouse.
And I can only compare the what I call the modern church, which is the Mormons are it's a very new, it's a very American church, and so I can only compare it to the way that the Catholics have been over the last couple hundred years.
I mean, they did like control a lot of the world. I mean,
they did for a very long time. Yeah, they sure did.
They sure did. It's not up for the history books. There were wars. There was everything.
Oh yeah, the Holy Crusades. What?
America is here for a reason as well. Yeah. It's a very big pivotal part of human history globally.
So, I'm not saying that the Mormons are the only ones guilty of that. I mean, we were talking about like Jehovah's Witnesses. When you get exed and disfellowshipped out of that, you're fucking done. Like, I mean, they are tribalists to the nth degree, right?
Yeah.
So.
And there are other sects of Mormonism.
Yeah, there are a lot of schisms.
Claim to the same words, who take exception with what happens in Salt Lake City. And some of those sects of Mormonism that have branched off are, dare I say, far more inclusive in their theology. Women can be in positions of power.
The big one is our LDS
and so
church,
can gay people, for that matter. It's far more progressive Mormonism, but that's another offshoot. But because
it's a schiz from back in the day, back when I mean, I don't know how many schizzes there were and splits. Like
just about every time they relocated, there were several.
Something.
Well,
is that a Mormon word?
It's kind of it's a slang. It's a schism.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. I was like, what is that? I'm writing down all the Mormon words. How many times did I say ammon correctly today? I know I missed it a few times.
I didn't either. You did good.
I tried my best.
Yeah.
I tried my best to say it right.
I find it funny when people get it wrong now. It's like, who can get it the worst?
So,
I am learning.
And I will give absolute all credit to that. Yes, it is something that is not exclusive to the Mormons, but I just
it's happening now.
They have a special flavor of this that kind of just gets a little on the repugnant side. That sort of just like twists a little bit. A little later on, he goes on to say that not I think he was talking about the corruption of the Provo PD. But he was like, at 230, 50, he says, not a whole lot of Mormon cops in Utah.
That surprised me.
I don't think that's accurate.
I don't think that's accurate.
Because number one, the government's not keeping track. So one can't claim specificity that, there can't be very many. And I mean, I've even got an article that talks not in direct quantitative measurements, but culturally.
Well, my reason for thinking that too is like if Utah is where the head church is, I do believe that
roughly
super
50% of the state are active members of the church.
right, and I would expect that
statistically.
How do I say this? I know that we're in America, and churches don't own
She's choosing her words
security.
carefully.
I am, but no, like there's always been a history of some sort of law enforcement to protect. You pay to protect, and it's not just religious per se. It literally happens in all different scenarios all around the United States. All right. And so it would very much surprise me if that's not the case. Now, I'm not saying every single place in Utah. I will go ahead and say Provo, probably yes. 100%. You cannot convince me otherwise. Maybe in other parts of Utah where it's not so close to the hub. Sure. I mean, there's non-Mormon people living there. Yes.
I would actually go. It's probably the opposite though. It's Salt Lake Salt Lake is actually a majority non-Mormon now.
No shit.
Salt Lake City. Yeah,
very
Salt Lake.
blue.
I know it's very weird, but Salt Lake County.
I don't know
City,
shit, so I'm here to learn.
That's okay. That is the least populous of Mormonism. So the further out you get, it actually increases by concentration significantly. Like there are people who live in these pissant little towns in the middle of nowhere, Utah, that have never seen a person of color.
Well, in fairness, I'm from a rural area. It just is how life is.
But I mean, it's that. I mean, to some of his point that like Utahns don't know the real world. That it's very, very literal in a lot of these little towns because it's they never leave.
Antelope.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely.
They just get into the family farming business or whatever, or the locker plant down the street, and they just never leave, and they marry somebody from the ward down the way or whatever, so they don't inbreed too bad, and like they move on with their lives.
Wow, that's okay.
Yeah.
So here we are. Another point. Llama is
Llama
wrong.
learns.
Llama's learning over here.
Llama, that's one for me today too. He got one on me.
Yeah. Well, that is very interesting. I'm just saying big entities, including corporations, lay in bed with officers.
TX says, yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, if the only pool of people you have to choose from is a town that's like 98% Mormon, I mean, come on, like
you're kind of. I mean, I grew up in a small area. You're kind of pressured into because if you don't belong, then you don't belong anywhere, and people know it, and they do judge you, and they will outcast you. Even if you don't like go to the same church, but like, that's just small town life anywhere you are. I feel, at least in my experience.
I was that way in a small town that I went to high school with. I mean, like 70% of the 80% of the people that I went to high school with probably never left a 10, 15 mile radius of that town. It's just
like I graduated like 123 people.
So 168.
That's about the size of my graduating class.
Yeah.
All right. So we all know what that
small
town.
Small town.
High five.
High five for terrible high school experiences.
It's not meant for people like us. I'm just saying it was not a good time. I mean, I don't want to say that. There was some good. I didn't mind growing up in a small bubble, but I wasn't made for a small bubble at all. And they did not like me and my thinking.
High school was one of the worst experiences of my childhood.
Yeah, it wasn't great. I mean, for myself either.
So next up I've got is at 233 zeros where he said, in our church, all positions are volunteer. Nobody gets paid. That is not true.
Okay.
Hit the buzzer on that one.
It is. It's not a blanket statement. Now, what is true about that is the local leadership. So like you're
up to the stake
about
level.
A ward and a stake. Yes, those people are all lay, which means that they're
your
amateurs,
dentist could be your bishop.
They don't go to theology school.
The defense attorney could be your stake president or a doctor. Usually they're people of
so they still have their 9 to 5s, and depending on in the stake area, which is that collection of wards that he was talking about, that cover a broader area. The further up you get to that, you're probably getting people who are closer to like that retirement-ish or like maybe partial retirement sort of thing, but they're still actively working some kind of thing. And then once you get above that into like an area authority, like one of the I think is it area or does it get up to the 70 at that point? Okay,
No, area authorities are next, and then
Okay.
the next
so
layer,
many.
the multiple groups of 70s.
Yeah, so I think with an
What was
area
under
authority,
ward? So ward, I'm
w-
sorry, I'm trying to keep up with your guys' lingo here.
that's fine.
Ward is like a
Ward
local
is
church,
that's
right?
local.
It's
Just the
one
church that they
congregation.
go to.
Yep.
Right.
One
One single
Okay.
congregation is a
congregation.
ward. Now,
A
what makes it
stake.
worse, hang on. What makes it worse
Okay.
is that you can have multiple wards share a single building.
That's not too bad.
No.
What?
So, yes.
Mhm.
And this is it's more an economic thing, so they don't have to build multiple buildings just for one congregation.
That's true.
So
So
wouldn't they
you could
just have the same thing but at different times?
Yes,
Yes.
correct.
One
so
will
you
start
could
They're
at
all
have
9, one will
separate.
start at noon.
the South Jordan 5th Ward, which meets at 9 a.m., and then the South Jordan 11th Ward that meets at 11, and then the South Jordan 10th Ward that meets at 2.
And you'll cross in the
And now-
hallways,
Now
but
they're 2-hour blocks, so it makes it easier for them.
Yeah.
It used to be 3 hours
Why have all these different?
because there's so many.
there's so many. And like if your ward gets to
Okay.
a certain population,
Yeah.
then that's too big. So then then it splits, and then you have like the South Jordan 1st and South Jordan 2nd ward.
Okay. Sorry, these
Sometimes they have
faces are
better-
just. My brain is like, I don't understand why this. Why is
That's
it so
okay.
complicated and annoying? I
'Cause-
find it
It's
complicated
just to
and annoying.
save space and squeeze people into one set of buildings rather than spend money on multiple buildings and
Right.
have separate.
Yeah.
They can
Okay.
save money
And
that
if it's
way.
too
corporate.
small, like to further confuse you, Llama and
Okay.
friends
If
in the
it
chat,
shrinks,
if it's too small or it's just a little itty bitty baby starter,
you can have a
it's
branch.
called a branch.
Oh.
And you don't have a bishop. You don't have the local
You
authorities like
could.
that. You could,
You
but
could.
it's usually just a
branch president is usually
but
the name.
But that's not a bishop.
Yep.
And that means you're not a judge in Israel.
They've come a little closer together in recent years
Okay.
because they're
So,
having
like,
problem with leadership filling.
So can anybody just like start their own branch or ward or? Oh,
It has to be sanctioned.
okay.
It has to be approved by the higher ups, which is usually at
Area,
least
I
in
think.
Area 70, and more often than not, it goes to headquarters in Salt Lake. It used
There's
to
a
be
lot
that
of admin when
a
there's
member of the
new-
12 had to approve it too, but I don't know if that's still true.
If a new entity like that spins up, there's a lot of admin that comes with that. So it wouldn't surprise me that it does require a bunch of
'Cause
approvals and stuff.
You have to get unit approval. The stake president has to be involved because funding goes through the stake. It's a whole thing that has to go through Salt Lake anyhow.
What's the stake again? I'm sorry, I didn't get to write
So
the
the s-
definition down.
yeah, we haven't
Stake is
gotten
the
there.
full collection
Okay.
of wards. We can go there now.
Yeah,
But
so that's
how many wards?
Depends on the geographic area and the
depends on the
concentration.
geographic area. I think ours growing up had maybe 5 or 6.
That's Usually have at least 5. It could be, I think, as many as 8 wards. Sometimes not. The rules
I
are
never
a little
remember getting to be double
little
digits, but
loose. Because let's see, my childhood stake. Well, there were more than one. Let me do the math. 2 there, 2 there, 1 there, 1 there, 1 there. 2, 4, 7. I think we had. And it was a pretty good sized county. So it was a county that was one stake.
yeah, and
But
sometimes
the
they align
more
to a
members
county.
you have, the more of
sometimes
everything
not.
you will have concentrated in a tighter area.
This is
Which is why
already
there's
so
a word building
confusing.
like on every other corner in Utah, like Starbucks, and every other corner is like a steak center. It's just that many people.
Yeah.
But they're shrinking. They're selling off buildings.
They are
So
selling off and they are consolidating in certain areas, which is
the
really
membership is
interesting.
declining in exponential numbers,
in
Oh,
America.
okay. That's
which
why.
will
Okay, I
probably
see.
not make Relic happy to talk about.
Oh,
But
yeah.
we're growing in other parts of the
Okay.
world.
All right, so we got
um,
branches, which are
yeah.
teeny tiny little
Teeny
groups,
tiny
basically
little
like Bible studies. We got wards, which
Which are
can
full
be
congregations.
congregations. There
congregation.
can be many that are at the same building.
Mhm.
But if they get too big, they split up.
Correct.
You get to choose. Like if your ward gets
No.
too big,
It's by geographic, so you don't have a choice. So
It's
like
like
they'll divide a line
school
or
boundaries.
like a city or a school boundary or something like that.
Yeah, often.
what?
And you go where they tell you to go.
Yeah.
If you're in this geographic area,
'Cause-
you are in the ward you are
'cause
assigned to.
They are inspired by God to make these decisions.
Yeah, well, sure.
Right. Okay. Okay. Well, that's
So if you had
Okay.
friends, say goodbye.
Yeah, you may not have those friends after all.
so wild. The land of the free, isn't it? It's interesting. So then the stake,
that's the next
they're the
one.
collection of the wards in the area.
Yep.
And they usually have about 5 to 8. I'm learning. Okay, Buffy says she wants Mormon 101, so I'm taking notes for her. That's what I'm doing. And now you finished, but you didn't get to clarify. The funding then goes through the stakes out into the wards.
Yes.
That's where you're going next.
Usually.
People being paid and not. So
unless it's super remote and there isn't the leadership infrastructure.
But it goes to
that
goes to the density thing, right? That's where like the branches sort of just like they're more prevalent in the less densely populated areas, and the funding, it comes from somewhere. It may come from another ward, it may come from the stake, or if there's not a lot of those, then it'll come from the area budget or whatever. So
and let me add more to that. Where there are sometimes holes, the mission office will fill in.
Okay.
So do any of these people in the branch, ward, or stake get paid?
No.
Usually no.
No, including bishops, or I'm sorry, is a bishop the same thing as a preacher
like a pastor.
or a priest?
That's
or
the
pastor?
That's the head of the it's kind of like the pastor. It's the head of the ward.
Okay.
And they have no theological training.
None.
They don't go to
school.
Training.
They don't go to training. They don't go to sermon school. They don't do none of that.
They are just a regular member who is called by other leadership to fulfill that position.
And they're given a handbook. And they're like,
they get the rule book published by the church.
Published by the church, and it's
go
like,
forth and do. If you have problems, talk to your stake president first. Yep. And if you have someone talking about child sex abuse, call the Curtin McConkie hotline first. Don't call police. Call Curtin McConkie first. Don't call it. And they'll check for you.
Call the lawyers.
That's a whole nother side issue I have with
but we weren't. That's quite the tangent that we don't need to go down right now.
All right. So no one gets paid in those.
Correct.
All right. So we're done with the stakes. What's the next? I should have done this the other way. Damn it. And my triangle is going to be upside down.
That's just turn your paper upside down. You'll be fine.
How dare you speak that blasphemy? All right. Okay. Mr. I take notes for a last show. I'm over here. Yes.
No, yeah, well, if corporate daddy knew what I was up to today, they wouldn't be happy with me spending my time doing that. But, I did all my corporate daddy tasks, so whatever, be quiet.
I'll keep your secret.
That's our secret. So then above that is an area. So that's more of like a region type thing. And I don't know how they have it divided up these days, because it
changes.
We never, when I was active in my lowly little wards, we hardly interacted with anybody at that altitude. And it was a big fucking deal when somebody would show up, and like if they wanted to sit in at one of the meetings or whatever, like that was like, we got a really important person here. So yeah.
Okay.
They still don't have a flow chart.
Yeah.
Wait, so the area does, how big of, like, are we talking areas like a state, or?
It could be like I think it's more
a major metropolitan area. It could be several counties. It could be part of a state. Again, it depends on density and population, how much membership they have within a geographic area.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Alaska
but they hold more power than all the others.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. We're in the hierarchy of power.
They have more keys to the kingdom than
as you ascend the ladder.
Mm-hmm.
Large area.
Llama, stop holding back. Go full send.
Large area. People are like, ooh, they're a big deal. I'm writing, they're a big deal.
Jen has got it. No mega wards like mega churches.
That's correct. Yep.
There can be large buildings that have larger capacity wards because it's Utah. In Utah, you see that more. Mm-hmm. I've been in some very opulent, large stake centers. Some of them older, some of them newer.
Yeah.
Again, it depends. Because, just as soon as we say there's rules, they break their own rules.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah, we'll get to the rules thing here in a minute.
Yeah.
Okay. So did any of the area people get paid?
If a ward wasn't collecting no money.
I don't...
Area people can have travel stipends, especially, and this depends, because there's two different types of area people. You have general...
Okay, all right, subtypes.
Llama, the middle management is always the most confusing.
Yeah, don't worry, I'm making a flow chart for all y'all, okay?
And some of this has changed a little bit since my time. You have area 70s, you have general authority 70s, and then you have presidency of 70 authorities. So these are all the guys in middle area management. And depending on their calling, they could be working with different higher up leadership in different roles.
Wait,
So
what was the last one? I'm sorry. We have
what did I say?
70, General
Yeah,
Assembly Authority 70, and what, President 70?
Presidency of the 70,
Okay.
yes. And they all, some of them kind of
Why
look
70?
in certain directions.
What's special
is
about
the
that
area-
number?
wait,
Biblical.
Echoes is the
Oh.
the quorum of the 70 is
Okay.
different from the areas, though.
Correct. There
Yeah.
are multiple quorums of 70s
Yeah.
in the LDS Salt Lake Church.
Quorums.
That's the next level up. I know I'm jumping ahead a little bit to that, but that's the next.
There are
level up.
multiple groups of men with different functions that function as area and general authority 70s if we want to dilute it down a little bit.
Hi. Are you?
There's
Is
a lot
everybody
of
in
middle
chat
management.
space like mine right now? Like, what is that?
Yeah, the fact that we don't
Lots
have
of
like
middle
2,500 viewers right now. I mean, the 20 that are here, you're all learning a bunch of shit.
St.
Right?
Cheese says this episode of Llama Learns Mormonism and what they didn't tell you in a Book of Mormon. That's right.
Yep.
I love
This,
that.
dare I say, this is as entertaining as the stage musical, or maybe not.
The stage musical is amazing.
If you haven't seen the Book of Mormon on Broadway, 10 thumbs up if I had 10
Highly
thumbs.
recommend.
I wanted to come here so bad. I think it came here a few years ago, but we didn't have money to go.
It's not a cheap show, my God.
It's not. No, it was not. Even here in
Nothing
fucking
good anymore
Ohio.
is cheap. Yeah,
Yeah.
damn it.
But yeah, we
I
didn't
saw
have
it
money
in
to go there.
2016, and I wish I had brought a towel. I was laughing and crying so much.
Oh my God, my gut hurts so fucking hard. I mean, the only other musical I've ever laughed at that hard was Avenue Q.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
But
I love that.
Book of Mormon was that was good.
Oh, Aimiss is taking. She's going to transcribe this live and taking notes these way. Oh, you guys are going to have a very good chart then after this is over. So
Llama
take
will
good
make
notes
an
'cause I'm
excellent
taking-
chart for you all, which is not one of my strengths. All right, so
I just
after you
take
get out
notes and do
of
timelines. But
after you get
please
all
go.
of the quorums of 70s of all the old men who still sort of work part-time, but they run around doing church stuff at the same time,
Yep.
they can have a travel stipend.
Okay.
Then we start getting into things like mission presidents, temple presidents, which are kind of the next level before you get to the highest echelons of leadership.
Okay.
You know the ones that are in
Mission.
charge of like those fancy temple buildings that like go
That's
tower
right.
over skylines with that gold opulent statue of the dude blowing the fucking trumpet, like on our intro
Although they
screen.
Yeah.
don't have those all the time anymore.
They don't. I know it's kind of weird.
It's becoming, now we're just sort of falling in love with steeples so we can browbeat places like Fairview, Texas to have a, what was it, 120-foot steeple where their maximum building height is like 60 feet. Because Mormonism wants to have the biggest penis in town.
Oh, if
Is
you've
that
ever driven-
why?
Go ahead.
I'm one. What was after mission president?
Temple presidents.
Temple president. You said earlier that they couldn't like build bigger buildings for their wards and stuff. Is that a reason why too? Is they don't want anybody building anything bigger than these
They
higher
want to
buildings?
be the most. Well, this is why temples, Mormon temples, are in auspicious places like freeways, on tops of hills, heavily lit at night.
Freeways?
Oh yeah.
Let's see.
If you go like, okay,
let's-
so if
there's lots of
anybody has
temples in
ever driven
Ohio.
around the Beltway in Washington D.C. area, there's a curve that you're come around on the north end that suddenly right out of the trees, out of nowhere, there's this big, massive green lit building, and that is a Mormon temple
Green. Why green?
because they wanted it to stand out.
Oh,
And some people
Wait,
call it
which one is green?
Washington D.C. temple.
Oh, it's not green anymore. I've seen it.
green's an interesting choice. The
That was-
color of
It's not like
balls.
literal green. I think they used a limestone that had a green tinge, but they've done some
Well,
stuff.
I mean, it wasn't.
Oh,
lighten
I
it
thought we were
up.
talking about like green lights.
Well, the lights might be green
think they
because they're crappy
give-
old halide lamps or
Well,
something.
maybe,
but-
I don't know,
Or
but-
mercury vapor. Who knows? The light.
Like it's the building material.
yeah,
They're
the-
working
Oh.
on those kinds of things.
The temples have an exception to this whole like gaudy building thing because they're making a statement with those more, especially like visual to the non-members and the commons out there of we're here, we're present, like look at this glorious building, and they've always got this special lighting that lights up the building but doesn't like reflect to other. It's like it's not just this big giant spotlight thing. It's like, oh yeah, you got a good they're echoes. Let's bring that up.
Let's take a. I've got Ohio for Llama. Here's the Columbus, Ohio. This is not a big one. This is one of the smaller.
This is modest.
Yeah,
I was going to say, this is so, I don't
Yeah.
even, where is this? Main entrance. Where is it? Temple's dedicated.
Let's see. Let me scroll around a little bit. And it was 2017, right? No, it was dedicated in 99. That's right. It was one of the Hinckley temples.
Oh.
I could give you sort of an address if I get out of here, which it's not going to let me do easily, is it? There we go. Upper Arlington.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay, of course it's there.
Right off of I-270 on, what's the road here? North Wilson Road.
Yeah.
Is that like a fancy bougie area?
Well,
yeah.
It looks like
yeah. That doesn't surprise me at all.
It looks like a golf course right over here.
Yeah, that's why I was like, oh no, that's the park, I believe. We have a lot of big city parks. Could be a golf course, I suppose. Yeah, it's a older yet kind of bougie area of town, so to speak. But
and then there's also
not surprising.
the other one. Where's the Kirkland one?
Do we only have one?
No, there's also the Kirkland Temple, which is historic.
Well, they just bought that one recently, didn't they?
Yeah, they just got it. Well, I might just have to go to their own page.
I know where
Kirkland
is.
Clicks. Oh, and they've announced a Cincinnati, and they're gonna Cleveland, Ohio should dedicate in August. So there will be 3 active ones. I don't know what they're gonna do with Kirtland. It might just be sort of a museum now. It's from the 1830s. I just need. Can't type either. Here's one of the older ones from the 1830s, the early days of Mormonism.
It's like one of the OGs, if not the OG temple.
Then they got run out of Ohio for being vagrants.
Yep.
Because Ohio, we have a very kind of like, and we do have, Catholics and Jehovah's Witnesses and Amish, but it's still very, how do I say this? Catholics are usually very frowned upon, and they stick to their own areas because it was more of a Puritan. This is way back in the day. I'm speaking of. There's not so much as this tension as there was
in the fighting between religions. Yeah,
but when you look at the founding of the country, the reasons why, the history, it kind of makes. I'm not saying it's right, but it makes sense. The Catholics went to certain parts of Ohio and not in other ones. So, the Mormons
literally fled the United States to get away from, their oppression in Missouri and Ohio and all those places too, and Illinois. So.
Since you mentioned Washington, D.C., a greater and more spacious building, but the rooms you would expect it to be like the Mormon version of a cathedral, but they are not.
That's the one you were just talking about. That's on the highway.
DC.
It's on the Beltway, and so
it does have sort of green lights.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was. I know it wasn't technology, like pure green, but
I'll bet they've
it literally like that's the front side of it. So like when you're coming around the back side, that's literally around like you can't. You cannot miss it if you're on the Beltway around there. And that's by design.
Interesting.
It's absolutely intentional.
Full of lots of small rooms where they do Mormon things, which they stole a lot of Freemasonry.
When Relic was talking about the covenants that you take out, these are the buildings in which you go into, and you have to have that special Mormon pass called the Temple Recommend in order to go in there and participate in that.
But that is not the headquarter church.
No.
The main highest church of all,
Salt Lake City builds the temples.
Yep.
Okay.
So they have an office building proper. It's like actual office building. There is a temple in Salt Lake City. That one has significance in that it was like the first one in the settlement that they built, but it's not you can't do anything special inside of the Salt Lake City temple that you can't do in another temple somewhere else.
Well, now that's true. It used to be the last major place where you could do live endowment sessions. But I am told that in the latest renovation, live endowments are no longer
tore out all the old artwork and the murals and stuff in there too,
which I think is a crime.
Just
but
threw them the fuck away, and it's like
It used to be sort of the dream of every young lady in Mormonism to get married in the Salt Lake Temple.
Oh yeah, a destination wedding for a Mormon couple would be Salt Lake.
Salt Lake, yeah. That may change.
Do
And
they
one of the
not
reasons,
do like large group weddings there, or no?
no,
Am I thinking of
weddings are
something? I might be
small.
thinking of
Mm-mm.
something else.
Weddings are small
I mean, at
inside
the
a
temple, like, don't they
Yeah.
have like a?
You
I
might
feel
have
like
a
I've heard
reception
something
afterwards.
happens.
Yeah.
Yeah. When
When
you
my
get
s-
married
so-
and sealed in the temple, it's a small thing. The rooms are small.
Okay.
You might have your parents and
Yeah.
maybe one or two other people that are close, but that's
Oh,
about it.
so
It's
a
not a big
sealing
thing.
is not like this big,
No.
gaudy
No.
event, if you
No.
will.
No,
Okay.
when my
All
sister
right.
got married, she got married in one of the Utah temples, and
Which one?
fuck.
Because my sister got married in South Jordan.
It could have been that. I think.
Yeah, it was kind of new back about the same time.
I don't know, but I had to literally wait outside the building. I wasn't
me
even
too.
welcome on the inside of the front doors. I could not go in. I had
If
to
you
wait.
if you are not a member
it
with a
was-
temple recommend, you
it was
cannot get in to
My
participate
sister,
in the things.
her now husband, and mom and stepdad. It was those
Aw.
four that were able to go in, and that was it.
Yeah.
And then we went and had a reception at a place, whatever, and that's where everybody else was, and it was a dry reception, of course, because
We had a reception in the ward cultural hall.
Okay. All right. Well, that's interesting.
There's another buzzword for you, Llama. Cultural hall.
I mean, we can continue along some of the organizational structure if you want to, but
No, that's okay.
I've got more points to go.
You
here.
will do your points then, sir.
Well, do you
I'm
want to
very
just finish
interested.
it off and say after
that,
then you have the quorum of the 12.
Then there's the quorum of the 12.
More old men.
That's like, if you think about the board of directors of any sort of organization, this is the board of directors. So these 12
Is
people.
there only 12 of them? Okay.
Yes,
correct.
There's literally only 12. And
Just
these
like
people,
the 12 apostles.
Just like the 12 apostles.
Oh.
So this is where they get this. And those people are set apart and sustained by the membership as prophets, seers, and revelators. That's a really important distinction, because there's only one person that's ever referred to as the prophet, and that's the president of the church. But when you are in these general conference sessions and everybody's asked to raise their right hand at the square and say, I affirm that these people are the, support them as prophets, seers, and revelators of the church, set aside budget, whatever the fucking language is. They literally are called prophets, seers, and revelators, so there's literally 15 prophets, seers, and revelators, according to the Mormons.
When
Total?
the phrasing
total.
Yeah. The phrasing you're looking for is when the general leadership of the church is sustained.
Thank you.
What? Okay, so the prophet, it's only one person.
Yep,
that's the
The
president.
oldest
of the
old
church.
man at the top.
Right.
He's the most
What
senior
is-
person of the quorum of the 12
the
at the
Pope.
time.
Right?
Yes.
Yes.
I'm doing
Yes.
my basic
That's the
knowledge
equivalent-
of
that's the-
comparison.
Yes.
We're following
Okay.
even your code switching.
Yep.
All right. Thank you.
Yep.
I don't even know shit about that. I'm just going with like what
Yeah.
It's
little
good.
do I
That's
know
the-
for organization
That's
here.
the Pope version,
Okay.
the Mormon Pope
What
version.
is a seer? What does that mean?
It's an old term of with an old religion. I'm gonna fuck it up completely because reasons. I'm not prepared for that. But it's like there's a difference between like a seer who can see things, but they have visions, and
There you go.
they kind of report back on sort of their dreams or their when
How's
they're
it
in some
different from
sort
a
of
prophet?
trance.
I thought that's what a prophet does.
A prophet
It's-
prophesies about the things to come, or the things that are there.
okay.
A revelator sort of has the same thing. Like, if remember the book of Revelations or anything like that, it's like they're predicting these things to have happen, and like a prophet is going to prophesy about like the coming of Jesus or whatever. Like they all sort of like get intermixed a little bit, because like there's a lot of people in the old lore of Mormonism that sort of had all three of those roles all at once. It's like in the very beginning of this, like the old man had a dream. It was Nephi's dad, Lehi, and he had a dream. He had dreams about certain paths and certain.
I know the
things, and,
Nephi
like,
story from
yeah.
Lori
So
Davis. She talked
he
about it.
saw things, and then he prophesied about them, and like, and then like, when it's like they all kind of like do similar things, but like,
What does a revelator mean? What does that mean?
No, I don't. Do you have a good definition of that, Echoes?
It all kind of blends in together.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's
in
all
many
just
ways.
woo. I'm
When you start
probably
getting
going to
into
offend
the
people,
nitty
but
gritty
woo
of it,
woo.
it
sounds very
gets into the
woo-woo.
weeds.
Yeah, it's very woo-woo.
Okay.
But it's like,
But when you get right
the
down to it,
terms-
it's the personal spiritual experience of leadership given to them by God in different capacities.
Yeah.
Now, some of the most senior leadership of the LDS Church will say they have physically seen God or Christ.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of depends on who it is, how they phrase it, because it's a
Okay.
generational thing. But they will all say they have seen him, which they kind of use along with seers. And I mean, it's nuancing,
President of the
really.
church.
Is a person like the president who reveals new truth? Yeah, that's a way to put it.
Yeah.
Seers and revelators are kind of the same thing.
Okay.
more or less.
And being
Okay.
prophetic is a different nuance of looking beyond that. But in the end, it's all God tells us this. We are going out with it to tell you what to do.
Right.
If you want
And
to just
so-
narrow it down.
And so that quorum of the 12 and the first presidency, which is the president of the church, the Pope, and then the two appointed counselors that he has. It's always a thing. Like the bishop, even all the way down to the bishopric at a ward. You have the bishop
They
that's
choose their
appointed, and then
counselors.
they choose a first counselor and a second counselor, and they all have roles. Blah blah blah. So the same thing that goes all the way up
Okay.
to the top. All 15 of them are appointed as prophets, seers, and revelators. The succession pattern is the most senior person on the quorum of the 12. When the prophet gets when the prophet or the president of the church dies, it's a office for life. So you're in it until you're dead.
Oh.
And I don't know anybody who's ever resigned before they're dead. I don't know,
Okay.
but you die, and then the most senior person that's been on the quorum of the 12 or the longest is the next prophet.
Oh, they don't do like a fun little thing that the popes,
Yeah, they don't do the
Catholics
smoke thing
No
and like the
smoke?
I would
cavalcade
love
and-
some smoke. Well,
That'd be
Utah
amazing.
is smoking right now. They've got some wildfires.
Oh, do they? Oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, unfortunately.
Especially
bad.
where it borders Colorado. I think
Oh,
not too
no.
far from TX's part of the world.
Oh,
With Colorado
no.
just ablaze.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's
But-
awful.
To your point, now that we've covered structure,
Yes.
everyone from the 12 on up gets a living stipend.
Yeah.
Many of
They
them
are paid.
also have housing stipends and travel
Oh, yeah.
stipends. Mission presidents have a housing and travel stipend. The church will more often than not buy physical property that they will house a stake president, a mission president in.
Mm-hmm.
My mission president had a very nice house in a certain part of
They're
Anchorage,
usually
Alaska.
pretty opulent
Oh.
for like a house, like with your family. I mean, it's like got
Yeah.
many rooms, big living room, big
Oh.
what people would consider family rooms, because
Baby
like they'll
grand
have
piano.
they'll have all the missionaries in, from their mission, and like have things, or like the whatever. So I mean, they need space for reasons.
And most
Okay.
of the senior leadership live in gated communities that were structured by the church for obvious security reasons,
Yeah.
especially these days. That didn't always used to be the case, but it is definitely more the case now. A lot of them live, I want to say oh golly, I'm going to get it wrong. I want to say there's a chunk of leadership that live in Kaysville because it's a little more further away. Some, it's not like they all live in a compound, but there are protected communities. There is church security.
Oh yeah,
The church has its own security force.
sure does.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Some of them are like ex-FBI types. That some of them are ex-law enforcement.
Essentially, like Secret
So
Service.
the church does have its own security detail. You will often see them more around the Salt Lake area, especially Temple Square, especially during busy times, where there can be lots of traffic flow for security reason. When there are problems at temples, like if a member decides they want to secretly film the Mormon temple ceremonies, like a guy named Mike Norton, who goes by the channel name New Name Noah on YouTube, he secretly filmed the endowment sessions on YouTube and got into a lot of trouble. He met church security at the temple's sites.
Oh, there's
where
no
they would-
filming it, even if you get married?
Oh God, no.
Correct.
Nope.
It is
Oh.
secret. Because it is
No.
sacred.
It's sacred.
Sacred and secret are
Okay.
kind of code switching words in
Wow.
Mormonism too.
Yeah.
I didn't know. Wow. So you can't even like film getting married or
Correct.
Nope.
anything
Not-
like that?
Nothing
Oh,
in the
wow.
temple is to ever be recorded, and you can face severe discipline if you do, or deal with church security and have your temple recommend revoked and be no trespassed, as has happened to people who have done so.
It could eventually lead to things like disfellowship or even excommunication.
Yep. Any disciplinary action they wish.
See, the thing is like with the XCOM stuff, like the Mormons are like, they dish that out like candy. I think I've got some notes about that a little later here, but like they are it's in the Catholic tradition, it is a huge fucking deal to get excommunicated. Like it takes a lot.
Yeah, that's what I learned.
Yeah, exactly. And so like it's huge. It's an epic event. In Mormonism, it's way more commonplace because it happens at such a local level. And like what I'm going to do is I'm going to table that.
Okay.
Because I do have that
because that's coming up later.
Let's go on your list, babe.
Because he definitely topped it there.
Are we talking about money?
Yes.
Okay.
The last note about money.
I'm going to get a drink, but I'm listening.
Yeah.
All right. So, okay.
She's got great wireless headphones.
I do. They're amazing.
So the last thing that I'm going to say about money is all the positions are volunteer. And I'm going to say that the missionaries are also volunteer.
Yeah.
But here's the caveat.
They pay to serve a mission. They pay the church to go on a mission.
Damn it.
What?
Echoes, you fucking you stole it.
Oh.
You stole it. God damn it.
That's because I went and I paid.
The families,
it cost me dearly.
The families pay and fund the mission. So think of this. You're 18 or 19 years old. You're going out thinking you're going to do the Lord's work and you're going to go and convert the people and all it's like going to be like awesome and everything. You're excited and like and you're going to basically give 2 free years of labor 6 days a week to the church to bring them in more members, to bring them in more tithing dollars eventually, etc. And you and your family are on the hook for paying your apartment, for your food, for any transportation costs that you have, your clothes, travel, all of that stuff. Like the church won't pony up anything. They won't even pony up your flight from your hometown to Salt Lake to go to the missionary training center. They won't pony up the cost for the flight for you to go from Provo to Zimbabwe or wherever it is you're going to fucking go serve your service.
Church travel did that for me.
Oh, they did? Okay.
They did, yes. That was on the church's dime leaving the MTC.
Okay. Well,
and when I went, it was when there was an earthquake that shut down a lot of airports. Yeah, that was an exciting day.
And it's required that you do this to stay like an active member or whatever.
It is expected.
It's like required.
It's not required, but it is expected.
But like if you don't go, then people are going to be like,
there's
why?
A stigma.
Okay.
There's a stigma if you don't.
It's a mark on you. It's like, why didn't you go?
Weren't you worthy enough to go?
Weren't you worthy enough? Did you want to? Didn't you want to serve the Lord? Didn't you want to go and do all the things?
My
bishop, I assume you can't like move up the chain of command, if you will, for lack of a better word, if you don't.
You might have limitations. You might have limitations.
Okay. Often not. My bishop used my mother's death as emotional leverage to get me to serve mine because I wasn't going to go.
Oh, yeah.
I had finished 2 years of college at that point, had a 2-year degree. It's like, Elder, if you want to be with your mother in the celestial kingdom, you know what the brethren have said. You really need to serve your mission, and you need to do so honorably for 2 years. And so he twisted me into it. It wasn't
you have a good question. Does the family get a pick where you go?
No.
That was chosen by the senior men. The first
and it's inspirational.
In consultation with the church mission department, which is a whole segment of the church office building unto itself with how many people.
If they send you to a place with like a higher cost of living, like New York City or something, and the family has to pay for it?
Let me tell you about that.
Yes, please do.
What the families pay is not what their missionary receives at the other end.
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean?
My parents paid close to $1,000 a month, if I remember correctly. I didn't know all these details. I only received a monthly stipend of about $150, and that was to cover all food expenses, any other needs, any travel expenses. Because if we had my mission, we had cars. Thank God. I didn't have to ride a bicycle.
Have cars. Sometimes you're on foot full time.
Yep. We had to pay for the fuel and care of the car out of our
Hold on just a second. Yes,
card.
Puffy. Why don't you just move our morning stream to noon? Why not? Let's do it. Let's do it. I'm here learning things.
Oh. Llama's going to be up late learning. Llama learns late night.
I don't know. I feel like the penance I'm gonna end up paying is gonna be end up having to like make a guest appearance on your noon stream to like I don't know, pay back all of this time. And
not at all. I'm here on my own free will. All right. Nobody paid me to be here. Nobody paid my stipend to show up. Here I am.
Anyway, Echoes was trying to be serious at the moment.
I was because I was talking about money.
Yeah.
And how little the missionary receives.
Yeah. They gave you $150 and your parents said paid $1,000?
It may be, they paid, yes, it was, I want to say that the difference was, I got about 18-20% of what they actually paid to the church for the mission fund. It all goes into a big pot. And, there's a reason they were able to amass hundreds of billions of dollars in Ensign Peak with what they take in. Because they suck money up like a Hoover.
And then not only do they get it, and not only do they get it from the families of the missionaries that are out there, they also like guilt trip the members every month with not just your tithing, but also like a fast offering that can
missionary
go towards
fund giving, special
missionary
giving,
fund,
humanity giving. Can I
basically
find
just
that?
goes back to the big fucking pot.
I don't know how missionary trips work other places. Is this very different than that? Do you guys know? Like, I don't know.
Yes.
It's very different.
Yeah, for other religious denominations that send people off to do, shall we say, like youth mission trips?
Sure,
which are not years at a time, but maybe a few weeks to some foreign country or someplace. The local congregation will raise all the money and send them all at once, and they'll all be friends together, right?
Okay.
And they will use whatever money they raise to get there and to do what they're going to do. Like a church I know of raised some money to make water filtration equipment. And so they did a youth trip, and some adults went up there and they installed these water filters. And I don't know, I don't remember what was raised for that. It was several $1,000s, but the proportional difference is that you're paying a lot into the Mormon ecosystem for what little you get back in service that you are giving to the church for free.
Right.
And this is why so many missionaries, especially in, I'll just say third world countries, have medical issues, have dietary issues, and other things because you don't have those resources. You have no funds. And God forbid you don't have a means to travel. You may be hundreds of miles away from any sort of care if you have an issue out in the field. So it can be very dangerous. This is why sometimes you hear stories of Mormon missionaries dying out in the field. Sometimes it's violent deaths. Sometimes it's medical complications.
Wow.
It's a crapshoot depending on where you end up.
It's gladly done in the service of like trying to, be a good little Mormon boy or Mormon girl.
Or girl, yeah. And what could be a higher honor than to die for your religion? Kind of the self-martyrdom syndrome that Mormonism inherently has.
Whoa.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks to Joseph Smith.
That's okay. That's wild. Yeah. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
It can be a very hard experience.
And behind the scenes with missionaries, it's all a numbers game. It doesn't matter how hard you try. All they give a fuck about is how many fucking baptisms you have and converts
That's what turned me sour during my mission.
They don't
when
give
I met M. Russell Ballard. And
they don't care.
He brought some 70s with him to talk some smack into the missions in my area, or just the missionaries. The mission was the area. And there were only about 85 of us in my mission. And we had a special all-mission zone conference with one of the higher-ups from Utah and some of his counselors, shall we say. And we were berated for not performing and bringing more people into the church. And that's when the light went off in my head. I went, holy shit, after 22 years, this is all they care about.
You report how many discussions you had. You report how many people that you talk to on their doorstep when you go door to door. You talk about how many discussions
there's a
you
lot
gave.
of record keeping.
You talk about how many baptisms
now they can do it on their phones. We used to have what we called blue pieces of paper. And you kept track of your weekly schedule. Yeah.
Man, there was another...
They don't give
another
a fuck
group
about
of people from history that also was very good at record keeping. Did not work out well for them.
Well, the Mormon Church has vaults in the mountains up above Salt Lake. Was it Granite
I believe that.
Canyon? Some of their precious things are kept there.
Yeah,
they've got
including the cedar
stones
that used to be called
some
the
of
Urim and
Joseph
Thummim.
Smith's old paraphernalia. I wonder if there's any marriage records from Joseph being a pedophile. But never mind.
Never mind. We're going to move on to
going.
point number 7 at this point because, yeah, we've fully exhausted that. So, this was just not even that long after after Relic made that claim about nobody gets paid. Oh. Okay. So
the choir the choir leaders get paid, the organists get paid, lots of people get paid. All the office work. All the office people get paid in Cobb, the church office building.
Well, they're employees.
Yes.
We're talking about the church leadership structure and like the local.
That's part of the leadership structure. Without the minions
Echoes,
in the office building,
I was never paid playing the organ for church and leading the choir and doing all that.
Because you weren't at the high level of the tabernacle.
I wasn't at the church office building, and I wasn't at the tabernacle playing the organ on a regular basis. So,
tabernacle staff. Do you know the choir budget's in the millions?
I'm sure. But it's a marketing thing. They don't give a fuck about the music. They don't give a fuck about the music. They get
and
it's
they
all
pay
marketing.
to fly them around the world for all the choir tours.
It's all marketing. They don't give a fuck. Anyway, okay.
They're wealthy.
I'm gonna feed Echoes of Xanax here, and I'm gonna move along.
Share. Can you break it in half?
Yeah, I'll get you a second one.
Mama wants a piece.
Why not? It's a party.
Yeah, right. Here we go. It's a party. Yeah. So okay. So just a few seconds after that, he was talking about Relic was talking about the High Council, and there's two things that he said. The first one was, quote, "The High Council is supposed to, funny enough, judge those who have not judge, but like talk and investigate the people who have done very egregious things that could possibly have them excommunicated."
Question real quick. I don't have High Council on my hierarchy
so that's
list.
it's a committee within the
stake level.
It's a stake level committee of people.
Level. Okay, sorry.
And the High Council consists of men from the various wards, and the concentration.
Oh, this is what the Josh guy was on.
Yes, correct.
Okay, all right. Oh, look at that! Look, guys, we're learning. Llama's gonna get a gold dog.
Llama's head is gonna hurt tomorrow.
You said they investigate.
So, well, this is what Relic claimed is that he initially started saying they judge those
correctly.
who have, and then backtracked and said
he softened it a lot.
But like talk and investigate the people who have done very egregious things that could possibly have them excommunicated.
Okay.
So it's an interesting distinction he's trying to backpedal and soften there. And the High Council, so like when I was talking earlier about excommunication as a thing that doesn't happen at Salt Lake's level, that it happens sort of at the local level.
Kind of.
Yes, kind of. But basically, like when you're put through what used to be called a court of love, which let's say that I got caught diddling Echoes and I was unapologetic about it. Shut up.
He's getting personal now.
Well, yeah, I'm just using examples here. Yeah. And
Not,
Llama's like, Jeep Daddy diddled Echoes. Okay, yeah. Basically, like,
I hope nobody clips that.
I would be put, I would be on trial, and because I would have committed a really egregious sin. Now he was talking about, he being Relic was also talking about other crimes that you could potentially commit that would be considered egregious. I've got those somewhere. Yeah, they're down here a little bit. But basically, as far as the High Council is concerned, they are the ones that are sort of the jury. So if you think about the legal system, you've got a jury of your peers, your 12 peers. This is sort of that. So like the stake president, I think, presides over said...
Correct.
Over this thing with his counselors. And then there's the 12 that sort of, the 12 High Council members that are there to, or the High Council, I don't know how many there are. I don't know, but
often 12. There
often
are some
12.
parallels.
So they will basically, they'll be there to sort of hear the testimony. So there'll be a lot of Q&A, and like the person is like sitting on the other end of this big ass conference table. Like the accused is going to sit over here, and you'll have your bishop as your advocate potentially, and you'll be able to go back and forth and ask the questions and state your case and be like, well, no, I actually didn't, or, I didn't do anything, with defense. Echoes, present my defense. And then like Echoes would show up and give his testimony and be like, oh, he totally railed me and it was awful or whatever. Like it just
awful. Speak better of yourself.
I don't know. It's just, this is for dramatic storytelling purposes only.
Where's
He
that
said it's a
disclaimer?
good time if anybody's interested. He's willing to take the challenge.
Yeah. So I did kidnap him the other weekend, so whatever. But anyway, yeah. So like, it's going to be sort of this faux like kangaroo court type bullshit thing, right? And so then basically the High Council is going to take in all the information, but then they're going to basically leverage a verdict at the end of the whole thing. When you're done stating your case and you're done showing all your evidence, basically you're going to, like, the stake president's going to sit there and be like, okay, what do you all say in this? And they're either going to be like guilty or not guilty, basically. I have not had the pleasure, as it were, of sitting through one of these, but I've heard a lot of stories.
Court of love?
Yes, that's
the colloquial term.
That's the colloquial term, but it is a church disciplinary council.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
And this is the point in which if you are found, quote unquote, guilty of like these particular types of sins, and it doesn't even have to be like a carnal sin of like, or like something out there like, okay,
Relic
so
was very selective in picking.
He was
some
very,
sour
very,
ones.
very, 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 very careful about what he said, because like I could have gone out and I could have gone out and killed all of my neighbors. I'm just going to use an absurd example.
Okay.
So I could go out and do that. Now, the legal system in the United States is going to find me, guilty of that. But am I going to be found guilty in God's court, basically in the Mormon God's court? Maybe, maybe not. So that's a whole separate thing.
You could go to this court for something that isn't even illegal at all.
I could go for just being gay, and I'm going to be deadly serious for a hot second because I could go to this court for simply being gay, and I could be found guilty for being gay, and I could be excommunicated and cast out from everything because the moment that I'm found guilty of that, I lose my religion, I lose my quote unquote blessings, which I fucking hated the fact that he started talking about. Oh, it's just blessings, but I'll get into that in a minute or 5 minutes. And like you can be cast out and you can lose everything, including your housing, particularly if you're just a kid or like a teenager or, like without a whole lot of means. You can literally be found homeless with nothing because this court of love has found you guilty of a sin. And like the thing with like sexual sin and sexual impurity is that you can literally be like, there are people like prophets who are in like president of the church who would literally come up and say and publish stuff in literature and also say things over in general conference, other official documentation and whatever, that said, I would rather that my son come home in a pine box than be sexually impure.
Holy shit.
And you know how many people have actually killed themselves over that fucking statement?
Wow.
Tens of thousands.
I'm sure.
I'm
sure. Absolutely.
And so not even doing an act like killing somebody can get you into a point in which you are then excommunicated. So no, it's not just about something super egregious, Relic. You can just be for something that you are and for somebody that you love. You can be kicked out of that fucking church and cast out.
Add to that.
Don't even start with me.
I do have a question. Let's say you are a teen and you went to this court because they found you guilty of being gay. Yep. Do they then have control of you to send you somewhere, or do they then have to get your parents to and send you somewhere? I'm meaning those weird ass conversion camps is what I mean, obviously. But whose choice is that in this?
Is the parents.
God's court?
It's the parents. But the parents are also going to be highly coerced by the influence of the leadership because they are, again, this all comes back to that hierarchy and that inspiration by God and having like the keys to these kingdoms and all of that stuff, right? So parents and families are highly influenced by this stuff. So if a bishop or like a stake president is sitting there going like, little Johnny, like we really need to like get him some help. And so we need to get him like family services and stuff, like, which is the inside like therapy bucket.
There has always been a side, I'll just say a side industry for Mormonism for conversion therapy and things of that ilk.
I do know that.
And it still exists today. I have a friend who recovered from being sent to one of those. They still exist, and there's various
recovered.
offshoots that continually come out of those. And some of them try to hide behind even licensed therapists that are willing to commit some ethical violations to conform to church policy.
Oh yeah,
Like that
there's
crazy Jody, whatever
Jody
the fuck her name
Hildebrand.
was.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like those kind of people.
And, and where I wanted to add was excommunication doesn't stop at things like sexual sin and
oh god no.
being gay and that. It can be as benign as speaking critically of the church on YouTube.
So what I was saying about like people who could what they call cafeteria Catholics, where you can go home and be like, I don't believe that old fuck that's sitting up there, like, blah blah blah. If I were to do that as the head of my household in a Mormon church, I could be excommunicated for apostasy.
Yes.
Wow.
A young British guy in the UK who goes by Nemo the Mormon was excommunicated at the ripe age of 26 for speaking critically against the church on his YouTube channel. He even had regular conversations with Dallin Oakes, who was only a counselor in the first presidency at that time.
Oh, but he became president. He's the one now, yeah?
He's the one now, that's correct.
Now.
So there's...
Nailing it.
The higher echelons of leadership can become involved in excommunication proceedings against you.
Yeah. It's not strictly a local thing. I didn't mean it to frame it like that, but you don't necessarily have to make it all the way up there. Like it literally like can stop at that stake level thing, and they have enough authority within the ecclesiastical belief system that they can absolutely fucking kick you out.
And I'm going to go with that this court of love has no appeal process whatsoever.
No,
it just stops there, period.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And then to say like, for him to come back and say, like Relic to come back and say, oh, well, even if he was excommunicated, he's still welcome to come to church and blah, blah, blah. And like non-members are welcome to come to church. You can come back.
There are ways
to
get rebaptized.
Oh, yeah.
After you are excommunicated, however, you have an asterisk put on your record file.
Yeah.
And to come back to the church, you have to have first presidency approval from Salt Lake to be rebaptized and re-enter membership.
Yep.
But you can't do it.
Salt Lake specifically?
Correct.
Yes.
Correct.
No matter where you live.
No matter where you live.
No matter where. Yep.
Zimbabwe or wherever. It has to come from Salt Lake. It is a first presidency approval to authorize you for rebaptism after you've been excommunicated. And I will add some news to that. The brother of the second counselor of the first presidency, his name is Wade Christofferson, is being charged. Well, he's going through the criminal process for being a serial pedophile. His brother, D. Todd Christofferson, is the second counselor of the first presidency.
Dumb name.
Yeah, I know.
Todd.
So
they love their
even
initials.
Things with
love their initials.
Sexual problems can be covered up to the highest levels.
Yep.
And his brother, who's being tried federally now, they knew about it at the highest level. He was excommunicated. Some years went by. He was rebaptized and approved by the first presidency, and he re-offended, which is now why he's being criminally tried now. So a family member of the highest level of Mormon leadership is being tried for child sex abuse.
Yep. Will he be excommunicated?
We'll see. I'm sure there's forum shopping for a Mormon-friendly judge, probably, in my opinion.
Wow.
So part two of that
Sorry, I didn't mean to derail you more, but it was important.
Whatever, I derail you enough on your mainstream. So
I know this is kind of a fun. Look, Buffy, I'm a co-host.
You're a sidekick.
I'm a sidekick.
Right. They get very upset if you call them the wrong thing. Echoes. Trust me.
Oh, I know.
Oh, no,
so
what would we do without them?
True.
He would just ramble on.
The conversation makes it work.
He would just ramble. So the second part of what he said in that statement was, and I'm quoting again, as soon as the story was opened up, he was removed from the High Council because they don't know if he's corrupt or not, or doing something that is against the church until it is proven. But while this scandal is going on, you can't be part of the High Council, so you're no longer. You don't have this calling anymore. You've been released from the calling. And he tried to use that. And I think that was like, unquote. And so I think that was like in part of like where your curiosities around like XCOM and all that fun stuff was coming around.
Yeah.
But I've never heard of this thing where you are by default just like removed from the High Council if you're involved in like a civil thing.
That was a surprise to me too.
I didn't know that.
There must be some concern at higher levels for that.
That's the only reason. Because
Oh,
again,
I
the
see what you're
separation between like the
saying.
stuff that's going on in the civil world, because the Mormons love like talking about don't be in the world, don't be of the world. So like you can like again go do the thing. Like again, I could go murder my neighbors, but like never face any consequences inside the church ecclesiastical system. So if they're removing somebody from the High Council because of a thing,
This scandal.
there's clearly something else going on.
It's
in my opinion.
On them.
Well, and the thing the church as an organization covets above all things is a squeaky clean image.
Yes.
So anything that puts them in a bad position, a bad light, or could sully their image, especially should it go sideways, the leadership are going to be more actively attentive and involved in trying to keep the image of the church as clean and separate as possible, which means news stories will not mention whether or not people are members of the church, especially if they commit high crimes and things of that nature. There's a deliberate distancing. Sure. And because the church owns most of the media and the government in Utah, they can get away with that. You know, you talked a lot, Lama, about corruption, and it's unfortunately true at all levels. At all levels.
Yeah, absolutely. I believe that wholeheartedly. It always is. Pick one thing at any point in time. It's one of those things that always has been, always will be. Oh, right.
I missed the question.
We just happen to live in a time where we can, actually confront these things for now freely.
Can I jump in with Sage Cheese's question, because it was a very good question. Sage Cheese asks, given our impression with the various statements of Relic during his interview, does that impact your opinion of the credibility on the other issues? For me, the answer is no.
Okay, and I'm going to reserve my
experience.
I'm going to reserve my opinion until I'm done with my list.
Okay, keep going. I've already made up my mind. I will validate his personal experience.
And I've already sort of tipped my hand a little bit in the beginning, but I want to like round out the objectionable content here, because like again, I don't think it's all objectionable. So, so the next thing that he goes on about. At 2:23:59, he says, quote, I was taught that in the Boy Scouts too, if you're an Eagle Scout and you tell somebody you're an Eagle Scout, they believe you more because of the culture of that. So then if you say like, quote, I was a bishop in the Catholic Church or priest, they'll be like, this is a holy man. This is going to be an honest person. That's what's going to play in their mind, unquote. So, to my point earlier, he has just proven my point that because the fact that these people are Mormon and they're being challenged by somebody who is an outsider, they have already claimed and non-Mormon, they have already claimed that the moral authority and the moral ground that they are more trustworthy because they're Mormon.
That's fair. Yes. 1 point for you. Yes.
It doesn't matter what they've done or not. If I come up to the police department and I say, hey, somebody did a thing, but I'm not a Mormon. And then, but it's against this other person who's a Mormon, and it just happens to be that they're part of the same culture. They're going to be like, oh, well, he might be telling a lie. And you're a Mormon, so you're trustworthy, and like you believe in the same things, and like you're, I see the garment lines and blah blah blah. So clearly you're authorized. Blah. It's just like, he has just completely unraveled his entire goddamn point.
That's fair. That is a very fair point, because yes, that's again back to tribalism.
Yes.
Right. You're like me. So therefore we're good. Right. I mean, and we all to some degree do that in our daily lives with other people. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. But that's,
But you can't have you can't have the same thing on one hand and then have a completely different opinion of another. Like it just literally doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
And that's kind of one of the reasons why I was a little blown away that he actually was Mormon and they went and fucked with his store, because I would have assumed that if the people who ran and owned the franchise were Mormon, that they would have more or less left him alone. Now, I don't know if Crystal and whomever else co-owned that business.
I don't think so.
Oh, they're not.
I don't.
No,
Yeah.
I don't.
I will. I don't know this to be true, but I've checked out Ben Gorman. I do not for one second.
They would object,
and they're in Oregon.
Yeah,
and well, you know,
or I should say, the Mormon Church would not approve of his fashion choices
or her hair color.
Or
okay.
like
That's
they're
fair.
very alternative,
totally
and I
fair.
do not mean that as offense to them at all. The Mormon Church would be like,
no, it's
so
not.
You're coming to the court of love, all right? Your eyebrow piercings that look like horns coming out of your face, court of love type for you, sir.
Yeah.
No, I don't believe they were.
So I feel like with like his whole, like that statement alone sort of just like eroded his entire sort of defense around, oh, it's not bias. Oh, it's like the Mormon thing can't be possibly there because, you know, Like I just, it's just like within the space of, let's see, that was at 2 hours, 23 minutes. And like earlier he's saying, oh, it can't possibly be that at like 2 hours and 29 minutes. I'm just like, dude, you have totally just like kind of just contradicted yourself really fucking quick, faster than like reading the Bible verse by verse. Okay.
He's so salty tonight.
Look, I'm just full of it.
In fairness, like you guys have lived this world, you know, like I know I shouldn't have said anything about you guys because it's not my story. It's not my, I don't fucking know shit. You know what I mean? And like you guys do have you lived this life, you've lived this world, and I'm really glad that you are saying something about, because I mean, I don't fucking know shit about shit, nor do I particularly care.
Again, like,
and
you know,
he doesn't either. He doesn't either. He's young.
He's young, and he's fresh off the Kool-Aid bottle. Like, I don't know how old he actually is, or like how many.
31, and I was surprised. Yeah,
God, I always thought he was in his mid-20s, for Christ's sake.
Oh, I thought he was older. I thought he was Buffy, and I thought he was our age, in our 40s. Quite frankly,
wow.
Just based on what he had like accomplished and how he carried, he seemed a. But he also said he was. I want to say first. No, he said he was from Brazil, so he's not entirely first generation.
Yeah,
but when you do come from a different country and you're like, you do grow up and mature a lot quicker when you're in a completely new world. So once he said that, I was like, oh, okay, that makes a little bit more sense of why.
I mean, he's well spoken, he's well presented, he's clean cut. Like he
a really nice guy.
Well, even if he is speaking bullshit, you know, for 40 minutes, like
sure.
But yes,
he's a really nice
he does.
guy.
Yeah. So yeah. But anyway, so another interesting thing, because like 2 hours, 33, you had asked some questions about being removed from the High Council and whether that, meant being removed from the church, right? And that,
right.
That whole thing. So he made a few interesting points here. So first one was, quote, just the position, like when somebody is excommunicated, first of all, it has to be really egregious. He's not excommunicated. He's still a member. He can go to church and everything. I think we've fairly well unpacked that. Like, it's just the position, not necessarily your membership.
He was released from his calling on the High Council. That's not a huge deal.
It's not, because the reason I asked that question is because online, when people are talking about this, because I have zero experience in this world, some people are like, it's not a big deal. Others say it is a big deal. And I'm like, is it? I don't know.
Losing your calling can be a big deal. Like, because like sometimes those positions can be seen as sort of like, you're not just the average member of my ward or my stake. It's like you actually have a position of responsibility, even if it's not something like the stake president or the first counselor in the bishopric. I mean, that's like, if you were just unceremoniously like disappeared off the bishopric or something, or the stake presidency, that would be a little sus. But like,
send out the hounds.
Right. It's like, what the fuck did he do? Like,
I knew one of those.
One of the, the knitting circles would be like, oh, what the fuck did he do? But like, like if you're released from like being the chorister or like the choir director or, like a primary teacher or something like that, I mean, that is just routine shit.
Okay.
And what they mean, like the terms with like a calling and released is basically it's like a volunteer role within the organization. So like
you get a job.
They would say, Brother Jeep, we have asked you to be. Well, Brother Daddy would be a little weird, but like so Brother Jeep. But so Brother Jeep has been
like Brother Daddy. Right. I don't know.
So like they would like, and literally in like the main like church service meeting, which is called sacrament meeting, there's a section that's set aside for new callings, and so basically they would say like, Brother Jeep, we've called you, and you would literally
He's present.
Stand up.
That's Relic's here.
Are you present? And you would literally stand up.
Standing up. I am here.
And you would say like, I had Brother Jeep has been called to be the ward organist for this ward. All in favor, please manifest by the raise of your right hand.
By the uplifted hand.
And everybody would literally, it's like blurred out, but literally you would raise your hand to affirm that. And then they would say any opposed. And of course, nobody would say that, nobody really would do that. But basically, that's what a calling is. And so it's a volunteer thing that is, quote, inspired by God, inspired by the leadership in order to go into that role and serve that role, again, voluntarily in the ward or even in the stake for that matter. And so that applies to a ward calling or a stake calling or even something further
highest
up.
Form of leadership.
All the way up.
Process.
Okay.
It's like if you're going to be called to the first bishopric, that is a thing that you are called to do. And so like you can be released from that. Now, usually
that's a really big deal.
It can be. It's depending on the altitude and the responsibility of that. It's like the ward organist getting released.
Josh. Like it's really not.
It's not kind of a huge deal.
It's not that big of a deal.
Right. Okay.
It's like, and if he was getting close to his time, because usually you sit in a calling, depending on what it is, for a certain amount of time.
Oh, that's a good answer. How long? Is it depends on the position. I'm assuming
bishops and bishoprics, bishops and their counselors serve for several years. Yeah. Often around 5 to 7. The details can vary a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Other callings, lower callings, like if you're a primary teacher or if you work with the young men or the young women, that might be a couple years. It could be longer depending on if, some of it depends on what they have for resources in callings.
Okay.
And like Relic says, high council can be up to 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds right. I'm not sure if it's always been that way. It seems like my high council
rotates
a little more regularly.
It's not a fixed thing. It's sort of just like a generalized sort of like whatevs. And sometimes if there's a new bishopric that comes in and they want somebody else in a particular position, they'll make the change. And it's fine. Like, because again, it theoretically is all by revelation and by inspiration.
Theoretically.
Right. So, because one of the stuff I did see online about people being like, oh, it's a big deal. It's not a big deal. It did seem like people saying it was a big deal weren't Mormons, didn't really understand the word, right? World.
Yeah.
Whereas the other ones seem like they had some insight into, and it is one of those things like, well, which one is? I don't know the answer to this question.
Right.
To me, it sounds like it's a big deal. But it's really not as much. Now, could it have been possibly because of what happened? Could it have been his time was getting close to being up?
Or all
could it have been used as like a warning? Like, yo, we got our eye on you, but like, you're going to stay here now.
All the things. Little column A, B, and C.
It could have been none of the things.
Yeah.
Or something totally different. Who knows? He could have resigned for that or asked to be released. I mean, you can do that. Like,
oh, you can.
Yeah,
I didn't even think about that option. I just assumed. I just assumed that if it's called a calling, there is no.
I mean, it's kind
refusal,
of uncouth. It's sort of uncouth to do that, but like you can go to the bishop and be like,
I can't do this.
I think I'm kind of done on this.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Or I'm leaving. Bishops really like it when you say, you know what, I'm leaving the church. You better get something.
Yeah.
Because they don't like that answer, but
they don't like that.
It could really be any of those things or reasons or whatever. And you said it was the stake level. I'm sorry, my notes.
Stake high council. Yeah.
Look how messy these are.
Look at that.
It's so gross, and I hate it. I'm gonna rewrite it tomorrow.
I know, you'll organize it appropriately.
I
But
will.
it is
But not as
interesting
organized as this hierarchy.
if he's not been on the high council very long, and I would guess he's about my age, give or take a couple years.
How many people are on a high council? Varies. Doesn't matter.
12-ish, 12-ish.
Okay. They're like the mini quorum of the 12, the mini version. Not really.
Kind
of. They might advise the stake presidency in some ways, but
Okay.
I don't remember what their function is on a regular basis.
Okay.
High council.
Yeah.
It's usually just to deal with issues, more than anything.
Okay. Yeah.
It's another form to kind of see over the stake without overwhelming bishops excessively, because bishops are busy, and while they meet regularly with the stake presidency, it's to get another pulse. And it's not unusual, at least in my ward, the Elders Quorum president was on the stake high council, because the Elders Quorum president is generally in touch with all the men of at least sort of like Melchizedek priesthood status. So it's a way they can kind of keep a pulse on some things.
Yeah, some of them may have a role on the council as an ex officio, sort of like I'm in that a certain position, therefore I have a seat at the high council table or something like that. I don't really know all the rules about those things.
Right. Okay. Well, that was interesting.
Oh, there we go.
Moving. Oh, what?
Each ward typically has one high counselor.
Okay.
I know
One?
some situations where there's been more.
Council makes it
But they're a
sound
little
like
bit
it's a
bigger
big word, like a group. They should
Well,
reword that.
it is a group, but I mean,
Yeah.
maybe it's like one each or two, like one each or something.
From
Wait,
each
is it
ward in
like-
the stake plus the stake presidency.
Oh, that was gonna be my
that can be
question.
about 12 in total.
Okay.
Do they have
Well,
one representative from each ward that
Yeah,
then makes up this high
sounds like it, yeah.
council?
In the average ward, yeah, that sounds right to me.
And I think they would actually, like, if there was announcements from the stake that needed to be talked about at the ward,
High
they would have a
counselor can
moment
make
to the
them.
high counselor would
Yeah.
be called up to the podium to be able
Yeah,
to make
if
some
there wasn't
announcements
someone
and
from the
stuff.
stake
I remember
presidency
that.
or if the
Yeah.
bishop.
Okay.
Yeah.
Some of the polity isn't hard cast.
Okay.
Some of it's
Excellent.
cultural. Some places have certain traditions on who says what to.
Yeah.
It's different, like in other states, than it is sometimes in Utah,
Yeah.
because Utah is its own little thing.
Oh, okay. But this
But
hierarchy
generally speaking,
is generally wherever they are, though, right? Like,
Well, the structure remains
For most-
absolutely the same across the entire planet.
right? Okay. Okay.
A stake is a stake, no matter if you're here, or if you're in New Zealand, or if you're in middle of BFE
Japan.
Africa. Like, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
I promise I'm almost done.
You're fine. You're fine. This
Second-
is. I am very actually happy about this. Again, it's very insightful into this world that I don't have any knowledge of whatsoever. So it's fascinating.
And for the record, I'm not intimidated at all that Relic is here.
Oh, I know you well enough to know.
Oh, fuck.
Buffy.
The second,
I agree with Buffy.
Steak sounds good.
I never got steak at a steak center ever.
I never did either. I only got funeral potatoes. It's bullshit.
Which,
It's fine green
I'm-
Jello with a bunch of crappy fruit in it.
I'm okay
Funeral
with the funeral
potatoes? Is that what you
well,
just
That's a
called me?
Mormon
Yes, I
thing,
did.
too.
We'll go into that tangent.
Funeral
in a
potatoes,
minute.
fry sauce, that's another conversation.
Okay.
All right. So the second thing in that little point was anybody is welcome at, quote, anybody is welcome at church. You don't have to be a member to go to church or anything like that, unquote. That is true. However, it is a very limited experience when you're a non-member.
Why?
Because you're not part of the congregation, basically. Like, you're welcome, you can, but like you're not going to
You
be
can
taking
sit
part
in
of
the
the sacrament.
classes and sit in different things.
You skip
but-
that. Like, you can
Okay.
sit into the classes, but like you're more of an observer and sort of guest. And really, like the goal is like you go to the ceremonies and sacrament meeting is what they call it, that main meeting, and then you might get whisked off and like had like some chats in the hallway with the missionaries or something to like try and get a time that you can get some discussions going or like learn more about it or something. But like there is an expectation if you show up as a non-member that you're going to be sort of like nudged in the direction of heading towards membership.
Sure.
It's not just like, yeah, anybody can come. Like it is definitely not like, I've gone to Episcopal churches before and like I don't have to join the church, but I can still fully participate in that. I can go to Lutheran churches and fully participate.
Besides
without
the
being a
whole
member.
bread wine thing that
I can still
you
do
have to
that
be,
at a
like,
Lutheran or
baptized.
an Episcopal church, but at a Mormon
really?
church, if I'm not a member, I am not
It's-
supposed to do that.
It's
Oh, see, I
very
thought that was a
taboo.
baptized only thing, or at
It
least
is a baptized only thing. I am a non-member. So if I were to go, it's uncouth for me to take the sacrament during that time during the service at a Mormon
never
church.
said.
It's never said. It's implied.
But,
well, right. It's respectfully.
Yeah.
You don't. You know what I mean?
One of the things. It's for members.
Right.
And doing certain activities and being on the distribution lists and all that,
and you certainly can't go to the temple.
You absolutely cannot go anywhere near. Well, you can go near the building, but good luck getting in.
You can get as far as the waiting room,
right. if even that,
and the grounds. Yeah, if even
I couldn't think that's like I said with my sister's wedding, I could literally not even go into the waiting room. I had to sit out. I was outside the building.
Wow.
So non-members can go. When do they have church, Mormon? Is that a Sunday thing too?
It's a Sunday thing, like 9, 11, or something like that.
Or however many wards they can fit into a building on one day, apparently.
Yeah, well,
but Sunday is
back in the old days when it was 3-hour blocks. I could literally, they would rotate 4 wards through there at staggering every 2 hours, and it would be crowded and crazy, but you had enough room to do that.
Right. They're so lucky Sunday's the holy day.
Yeah.
Yes. And there's activities that are scattered throughout the ways.
Saturday's a special day? Because
Why?
it's the day we get ready for Sunday.
Yeah.
There's a primary song about that one.
Yep. Sure is.
Saturday is a special day. It's the day we get ready for Sunday. We wash our hair when we shine our shoes, and we don't have to work until Monday. And then there's a
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. See, I still remember some of this after 20-something years.
I hope Relic is impressed.
I hope he said you're over it.
I still remember some of this after a long time away from it.
I could probably end up playing a lot of it too. I still have a lot of these tunes out of under my fingers. Okay,
but it's not a go to church day on Saturday.
It's a preparatory day.
It's preparatory. You can do your chores and errands, go play, but you don't shop on Sunday. You don't do a lot. It's a day to do Jesus stuff.
It's a church, and then you don't do anything. It's
family.
Do your callings? Do all
Saturdays,
your meetings,
your errands day, your laundry day. Okay, that makes a lot more sense now. Okay,
that's right.
Okay.
Right.
Other days of the week, depending. Well, I'm not sure how it is with sort of the shrinking.
Speaking of, it's not her time yet. I'm sorry, but if we're here on the East Coast side, it is. It's Buffy's birthday right now.
I'm sorry, what?
Happy birthday, Buffy. Where's my birthday song?
Buffy.
Yes.
We'll do it.
She still has another. Don't worry, she still has another 30 minutes.
Oh well, then I'll wait 30 minutes.
Then hell
she's Central Time, but I'm East Coast, so I can tell her first. So happy birthday, Buffy.
Okay. All right.
Okay, I'll have that ready to go. Okay. What else are we talking about?
All right. So
next point.
Next
Relic
point.
Says,
so
words sound
you
crappy.
are welcome.
Yeah. Well. And here's the here's the thing, Relic. You may live in a bubble where you're at, but I didn't grow up in Utah. So my experience.
You didn't?
No, my experience and the things I'm talking about are not exclusive to Utah. Mine are in at least 2 other states and other places that I have visited. So no, this isn't just a Utah thing.
No, I've never lived in Utah. My sister
neither.
did.
Because she went to college there.
That's right. And she lived there for several years.
And actually, I take
with her
that back
husband.
by 3 states, 4 states.
Oh, wow.
I've actually resided. Yeah, and it's the same at all of them.
It's like
now,
a
granted,
McDonald's.
I have a few years on you, honey, but that's the way.
The church is the same everywhere, and
it was the same
they say that.
the way it was.
There can be
my
some cultural
experience in
differentiation,
all these different states.
but generally speaking,
I was going to say,
he's in Florida. Yeah.
Yeah, he's in
and he
Florida.
also lived in Utah,
Brazil, and lived in Utah. Yeah.
And you're not wrong that Utah is a special creature, but
it's more special than the rest.
It's not exclusive. These experiences and these things and the comments that I have and the things that I pulled out of your chat this morning is not exclusive to Utah.
No, by no means, unfortunately.
By no means. So anyway,
it'd be better if it were.
It would be.
I keep
because then we
interrupting.
could we just write it off and be like, go be the fucking state of Utah or country of Utah and fuck off. Just it could be that easy, but it's not.
Don't drive in Utah. TX is never going to let go of driving.
Don't drive in Utah. That's the biggest takeaway from this conversation tonight. The hierarchy and the court of love, and don't drive in Utah.
Don't drive in Utah.
Are my main notes.
Okay.
For my
All right.
my Mormon 101 test.
Last point on the excommunication thing. So, okay, quote, when you're excommunicated, you did something big, like killed somebody. You cheated on your spouse. When you made high covenants in the temple, you know these covenants. You understand the severity and understanding that marriage is the most important thing in this world, and that families is the most important thing you can have. And that's what the gospel's around. So if you betray that after you make these covenants, then yeah, it's a problem. Unquote.
I'm going to object to part of that.
Okay.
So because Jeep Daddy has not been through the temple, but I have.
What's a covenant, real quick? Are we talking about like commandments or something? Or
it's a binding agreement in the Mormon parlance around like you're gonna agree to do X, Y, and Z.
Oh, okay.
Well, when you go to the temple and you, especially for your first time, and you receive the initiatory, you wear the garments for the first time, and you go for your first endowment session. And Relic may be uncomfortable with me talking about this, so if that bothers him, I'm going to suggest he tune out for a little while, because talking about what happens in the temple is very taboo. It always has been. It's a little less so now because so much is leaked out onto the internet.
Right.
But we don't like to talk about the covenants and the promises we make to God in the temple because they are so sacred.
Are these the same kind of things everyone would say in the temple, or are they like? Okay,
no, they're not individual.
No.
Okay. When you are
generic.
in an endowment session at the temple, you are with several other people. And last time I was in the temple, and I believe this is still true today, you are segregated by sex. Men are on the right side in all the temples I was at. Women are on the left. And at that time, women were veiled. So,
pardon, is this like the equivalent of a baptism? What is the significance thing happening here? Well, are you an adult? Like what is happening?
The significance of what happens in the temple is that you learn the creation story in the endowment session. So in Mormon theology, God in Christ formed the world. Michael came down, Michael the Archangel, as Joseph Smith says it, and they formed the world together. No, it's not baptism.
No, okay.
You start with the I'll give it on a high level. You start with the creation story because that's kind of the special thing. You learn more of the story of Adam and Eve from Mormon theology, and then you learn the secret signs and tokens that are supposed to lead you into the celestial kingdom. Okay. And it comes from Freemasonry. Joseph Smith was a Mason. So there's a lot of stuff, and Freemasons to this day, having talked to some recently, are still pissed about this, at how much Freemasonry with the secret handshakes, and you kind of need two people to do it. There's different grips, the sure sign of the nail, and there's some others. I won't rattle them all off, just because really it doesn't matter. But you learn secret codes, and phrases, and handshakes, so that you can get through the veil of this world and the eternities, essentially.
Is this a coming of age thing, or anyone at any age when they commit to do this at some point?
In Mormon parlance, it is the completion and fulfillment of the gospel.
Okay. There's a minimum age for this particular thing. You need to be at least 18 years old. Yes. You don't have to necessarily go through a mission, but you have to be a minimum of 18. But if you're like brand new to the church and you're like 40,
you're not going to get in for a little
while. Well, you're not going to get into that.
At least a year.
You can get to that point.
Gotcha.
But it's not like,
it's kind of like a recommitment ceremony or something like that.
Yeah,
well, it is making additional promises of God to build the kingdom, aka the LDS Church, to commit all you have, all that you may have, to the church in the building of the kingdom, and a few other things. And of course, as part of that, in the first part of it, you get the, as some people call it, the magic Mormon underwear. That's part of the initiatory. And when I did the initiatory, you were buck naked, and you were touched by someone who blessed various parts of your body before you received the garments. Now you had a sort of a slitted poncho, sort of like a sideways hospital gown, but open on the sides so they could touch various parts of your body. Yes, but all the way down. This was 2001.
That's pretty far down. But I get what you're saying. Okay.
This is 2001 when I had my first endowment and initiatory. So it's changed. You are no longer naked now. They actually give you the garments and then they do the initiatory. So they've changed that process. Because who wants an old creepy guy touching their this, that, and the other with sacred oil and blessing you? Because that's just a little creepy. Now, what I want to say more about the temple, and this is more important to me, is there's no consent. You do not know what you will be promising before you go. You do not know what you will be giving to the church before you go. It is all a mystery, and it is by design. Because
nobody's allowed to talk about it.
Because we don't want to talk about it, it's taboo.
Even your parents are like,
there,
no go.
To be worthy enough to have a temple recommend, you go through interviews with your bishop and your stake president, which ask also a lot of probing questions that are not given before you have consent. A lot of sexual purity questions, a lot of spiritual questions. None of it's by consent. They're getting better.
There's been a lot of question about that, even without the temple recommend interviews. There's been worthiness interviews where people would go in and actually talk with preteen girls, bishops, men would talk to preteen girls about their sexual behaviors and thoughts and that sort of thing. This is something that is baked in to the entirety leading up to this. So it's not unprecedented. So there's, I want to address this as well.
I need to clarify. It's not someone touching for the sake of touching. It was part of the temple initiatory before you receive the garments before 2005.
Yes.
Again, I had my endowments in 2001. They changed that part of the initiatory in the session in 2005. So that is a change that if you received your endowments after 2005, you did not have to experience that because that change was already in place. But for those of us of an older generation, we were touched naked by a temple worker before receiving the endowment.
And with intention
for receiving garments.
It was absolutely with a purpose.
And it is still the same prayers. I am told that is still initiatory, but now you have the garments on before you are touched because of all the obvious problems. Because let's be honest, there were people who were sexually abused in the temple.
Right. And let's not even talk about the punishments and the motions you needed to go through in order to I promise not to speak about this. I promise not to, this and literally acting like you're going to slit your own fucking throat.
Had the death oaths where they talked about slitting of the neck and the bowels. If you were to
agree, if you violate the covenants and you violate those things, that you agree that you will be disemboweled, literally.
It was pretty graphic before they started making changes, and those changes I want to say happened in the 90s.
Yeah, those were a little earlier, but your junk was still grabbed back in up until that 2005 time. And it was by design. It wasn't just because. And you agreed to it by being in there. My junk was not
specifically grabbed, but it was on the inside of my thigh, real close. It made me uncomfortable.
Well, I am glad to hear that they.
And there's no exit. There's no I changed my mind. A green exit sign out the fucking side. You're in it.
And at the beginning of the actual endowment session.
How long does this session last? How
close
long?
To 2 hours. Because after you receive all of the stuff, and let's just say you've already been through once before. Okay. You can do it a little bit quicker because after you receive the movie, which is the creation story, you get all the different, and I should have told this as part of it. You get all the different handshakes and secret phrases as you go through the creation story. So you go through the telestial kingdom, the celestial, terrestrial, and celestial. So there's all kind of a progression. It makes more sense if you can actually see it. I'm doing not a great job of explaining it because I'm trying to be brief. But at the end of it, you are presented at the front of the room. After you do a prayer circle, there's special prayers. There's a group of people in the prayer circle, and they do the square on the neighbor's shoulder. They've got the full temple garb. You're also putting on clothes. So as the creation story and all these things happen, you start with the green apron, which represents the nakedness of Adam and Eve. You get the shawl. You have the mortar, the hat.
It's an immersive storytelling experience. That makes more sense.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying I agree with the whole thing, but I see you're wanting to have the people feel like I get that. Yeah. Okay.
It's all
that makes more sense.
In most temples, the vast majority of the story was on screen and narrated. And the people doing things, whoever was officiating the session, they were essentially almost actors. Now, in the Salt Lake Temple, and I think until the recent change, they were literal actors who told the creation story, and they went into different rooms that represented the different stages. So you'd have the telestial room, which had artwork, beautiful artwork, that showed the lowest level of, let's just say Mormon heaven. It's easier to say it that way. And then they would tell that part of the story, and you'd do all the things. And then you'd go to a different room in the Salt Lake Temple. The what did I say first? I can't remember now. So each room had a different story and different artwork. And I think that's all been lost now to all being movie presentation, which is tragic. Because that was the highlight of going to the Salt Lake Temple was you had the actors' experience, and they would tell the story. You know, they could have been older people. They could have been young,
it's
but
more
you had
immersive than a movie. Like, it really would get people in it more.
That was the highlight of going to the Salt Lake Temple, I believe, until today.
Whatever it was, yeah.
Because I don't know that's 100% true, but I've been told it's being turned into any other temple. They'll have the screen. Let's see. Oh, parents went through the temple again. Before that, and I do believe church leaders talked about it.
But I gotta go potty.
Condemn those practices that... Which practices? Because it was all official doctrine.
And it's all official, Relic. That's the thing.
It's all official doctrine.
It's all official. This was what it was to be a Mormon, a good Mormon boy or girl in those eras. It was official.
And despite what the church says, that the gospel never changes, that the saving ordinances in the temple never change. It's not true. They change on average every 10 years. Some little piece gets changed because either a segment of it makes members uncomfortable, like it did when I received my initiatory and I was naked, as it did for many generations before that, and earlier ones where they were doing the penalty oaths. John DeLynn on the Mormon Stories podcast talks about this. And I know he's controversial to members, but you know, you could learn a lot from people like John and other people of older generations who have talked about their experiences, even in the temple.
Yeah.
And I know it's taboo, but how else are you going to learn? I mean, this is history. Yeah. This is factual history of the church.
Real. It's people's lived experience.
And it was doctrine.
Yeah. It was literally the way you got to the celestial kingdom until it changed.
Yeah.
What kind of, when you guys are speaking about changing things, you said it happens like every 10. How do they decide? Just is it the person? I'm sorry. Let me look at my list.
Revelation.
Is it only who gets to decide? Is what I'm going to ask. Is it the quorum of the 12 people, or is it just
it's usually the first
president prophet?
It's usually the first presidency that makes big doctrinal changes.
Yeah.
Now the 12 will be part of it. They'll be part of that discussion. But things like that.
But it comes from the top down.
However, what prompts them to do this change comes from the statistics department of the church office, which is a department most people don't like to acknowledge exists because it undermines the image of divine revelation. There is an entire department in the church office building that its entire function is to do polls of the membership, to take the temperature on various issues, everything from doctrinal issues to temple procedure issues to how they feel about gays in the church.
Wait, question real quick, because earlier when we were talking about excommunication and things like that, all right, where if you said something, you mentioned one, I forgot his name that you mentioned, that he spoke out, or he said something that the church did not like, and therefore he was excommunicated.
Nemo, the Mormon from the UK.
So they do put out these polls. Do people really? Do they expect people to answer these honestly, or
sure?
Okay, that's okay. They're okay with that, though, right?
It's kind of the quieter part of the church and how it functions.
Often. Is it anonymous?
Often, yeah. Aimiss.
Okay.
Thanks for coming by.
Good night, Aimiss. Good to see you. Thanks.
She's going to bed.
Night.
Working the AM. Yes, we appreciate you too, and all your artistic creations. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'll use more of them as I kind of adapt to what we do. Thank you.
Yeah.
But this poll thing or whatever you want to call it, it does go out to a
lot of it will happen mostly in Utah, but on my mission was a testing ground in Alaska for some of the changes that ended up becoming in what the missionary discussions are now, which I think they call it Preach My Gospel is what they call discussions in some of the teaching curriculum. We started that back in Alaska in my time because when you first met with the missionaries, you took 6 separate discussions from the missionaries before you could get baptized and become a member. Now it's been streamlined into 1.5.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
Ish. And I was part of the first testing grounds because Alaska was far enough away where, there wouldn't be too much talking to other parts of the church, but it was close enough for the leadership to get to by plane. We didn't talk about all the planes the church owns, but never mind.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Leadership have access to private aircraft the church owns. Relic says it's still 5. What? Okay, then we failed. We were supposed to get it down to 1.5 and have a commitment after the second meeting.
Well, I think they want a commitment early. I think it's the commitment. Maybe you're thinking of the commitment.
Well, I think the commitment pattern's a whole thing, but we were working on a special streamlined set of discussions that you could get through essentially in 2 meetings with a prospective member and get them to commit to baptism by the 3rd. That was what we were working on in my time. And that's 25 years ago.
But if their goal, as was said earlier, was that to get as many people baptized and into the church as possible, what did they want it to be shorter? Or...
Well, it's interesting it's still 5, so they must have had problems with that working well.
Maybe.
Because, the interesting thing about Mormon theology is it asks a lot of you if you dump it all on at once. And for most people, it becomes a turnoff. Especially if they have experience with other Christianity flavors.
Yeah. I mean, I'm looking at this hierarchy list and I'm like, what? What?
Mormonism believes a little bit differently in divinity than other Christian religions. The Trinity is kind of a sticky widget in Mormonism. Other Christians explain it differently. So there's a lot of things, and it depends on the person. I had an investigator I was working with for practically a whole year, and someone after me got to baptize them. I was not happy about it, but I was kind of over it at that point.
Oh, you didn't get your number.
I didn't get one. I didn't get one.
And
that's why the Alaska Anchorage mission was always under the consternation of the brethren.
Well, and I think one of the
Russell
reasons
Ballard
why
was not a happy man when he came up.
But it's Anchorage, Alaska. It's like the wild, wild west there in Anchorage, Alaska. Like that is what.
But there were 3 stakes in Anchorage, at least at that time.
Oh, wait, hold on. Let me look at my stakes collection of wards. 5. Oh, no shit. In Anchorage?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right. Interesting.
My first area was in the North Stake. There was also a South Stake where the temple is. And actually, they're on their 2nd temple now. They've built a bigger one and built a new stake center. And then there was another one that was further out west. But I think that has been long since they've shrunk. So I think that's been merged down. It may be down to 1 stake now, for all I know. I don't know.
So I think the reason why I brought up this particular point was, like we alluded to, or not alluded to, but really brought it out earlier about the reasons why excommunication happens. Because the claim here was that you did something big, like killed someone. And it's like, no, that's not, you don't have to do something big like that. No. You can be excommunicated for literally just existing.
Yeah. I mean, I can see that because these are the littler groups. And as you guys said earlier, because I was wrong about my impression of Utah, was that the further you actually went out from the major cities, the more concentrated it is. And so therefore, when people do live in these kind of rural bubbles, that I also grew up in a rural bubble, the different things that can matter to them are very, very different. Than in other areas. So, all right.
And so, like, this leads into my next
It's not great.
No, it's not great. It's not. But, like, so...
Can I interject just quickly?
Sure.
I
guess this is your show, after all. I don't know.
Well, it is. I think the church is more pure outside of Utah, if I want to be quite honest.
Pure in a sense, what do you mean by that?
Utah, with its culture, tends to trip on itself. And a lot of how people present, both within the church and in their daily lives, is a lot more, I'm going to say, superficial.
Okay.
This is why there's a lot of families with big houses they can't afford in Utah, businesses that fail in Utah, scams that happen all the time. Utah culture, I think, because of the concentration and because there will be a higher concentration who take advantage of the systems of the church that end up getting enrooted in society and government.
Okay.
I think the church is more pure outside of the higher concentrations, because there are people leading good, honest lives, doing the best they can with what they have, and not relying upon the systems and the structures within Utah, which is very church-centric. Very. I mean, all of the downtown corridor is to point towards Temple Square.
Yep.
By
the
design.
entire city is completely
From the time
structured
of Brigham
to
Young.
All of it.
It was by design. This is why they've got the grid pattern where you've got 21st Northeast Southwest Temple Street. It's just...
And everything is centered around State Street and like East North Temple and blah, blah, blah. Like it's literally all about getting you into that.
You can't miss it.
Yeah.
I mean, the only other auspicious building is the state government up the hill, just 10 blocks away?
Mm-hmm.
Is it that far? I can't remember now.
What, the state offices or the church offices?
Well, the Capitol.
Oh yeah, it's just right up the hill.
It's just the
Capitol. You look out the front door and you see
Square all lit up,
and
then
Temple Square
that other
right
building
there.
just on the hill? That's the Capitol.
You cannot ignore when you're and the government building. Let's say you're not a Mormon and you work in the government building. You can't ignore the fact that Temple Square is right there, just staring you in the fucking face every day.
He's so extreme.
And look,
I love
You can't miss
Jeep Drama Daddy so much.
and look,
Jeep
love
Daddy.
and look.
No,
Relic,
you guys are
Utah's
passionate.
culture does suck, yes, but it's the Utah church culture that's not bespoke to Utah. There's some of it that is bespoke to Utah, but it is not exclusive to, because my experiences and other people's
You weren't far
experiences
from.
have been happened way outside of it, 1,000 miles away,
Yeah.
1,500 miles away.
Mhm.
So it's not just because it's Utah. These things go outside of the state borders.
Yeah.
So don't give me this shit that it's a Utah thing, because it's not.
Not exclusively.
It is not.
It's-
It is
it's
a
other
Mormon
places.
thing. It is a culture thing that is actually brought in and exported out of that state to other places that harms people. It kills people. So don't give me that shit. Don't.
And you can see some of the secondary concentrations in California, especially places, Riverside, Orange County, because the Mormons didn't stop in Utah.
They did not.
Some of them kept going to California. So there's
And they
very
went
high
further. They went and
concentrations.
sailed across over to Europe and
Oh,
spread
yeah.
the gospel
I'm
over
just-
there.
It
and
I'm
does-
just
all the
talking
things.
early stuff.
It does make me so sad when people lose their lives over things like this.
It angers me so much,
Yeah, I mean,
Needless.
as you can
Needless.
obviously tell.
yeah. Well, you know people who have. I'm sure
There are
you know,
people who
and
have like I'm going to be blunt. There are
Sure.
people who have literally blown their brains out on the steps of a stake center in Los Angeles because they couldn't overcome what the church was telling them about their feelings and their love for other men. Don't tell me that the church doesn't have blood on their hands because of that.
They do a lot.
And that was in Los Angeles, not Utah.
yeah. That's.
Don't give me that shit.
I wish that when it comes to things like that, I wish people knew that it didn't have to happen.
Yeah.
And it breaks my heart because I know that faith and spirituality are so important. Like, you guys know, I am not a church person. I'm a spiritual person. I have my own thing, but it's so powerful. And to make people sometimes feel, whomever it is, that they can't have the relationship with whatever higher power it is, and that they're not worthy, and then they take their own life, is unbelievably cruel from my perspective. Because for me, I'm like, you have your own nobody can ever take away your relationship with whatever you believe in. Like, don't
Sure.
give people that power.
Sure.
But I do understand, and I think we talked about this last time we were together, especially people that are raised from early ages and really any of these, really pick one. It's all pretty much the same in the sense that when you are born and raised and conditioned, and it takes until you get very much older to realize some certain things, right? But also, if you don't leave that bubble, that mindset, just to explore a little bit, it does feel like there is no other alternative to
Very
things.
true.
And
Very true.
that always breaks my heart about all sorts of, because I don't give a shit what anybody believes in. That's fine. I don't care. It's your
Yeah.
choice. I mean, that's the beautiful part of being a human being, right? Is that quite frankly, none of us know in the end what's there. We can
No.
all hope and think, but we don't. And for people to have to come to that point is heartbreaking. Because I don't
And
know
it's
what bigger
endemic.
power there is.
Mhm.
I don't know what the bigger power is. If there is one, I don't know. But I like to believe in one that isn't ever going to want anybody to do that. That's
Yeah.
what I choose to believe
Yeah.
in, whatever that
Exactly.
may be. And that's really heartbreaking.
I-
And
And
yes,
it's a
many people
place.
have lost their lives,
It's a place where the church
respectfully.
has a lot of room to grow.
Yeah.
Is in
I-
casting off harmful theology.
But nobody gets their life back after that. And there's a lot of anger, you
Yeah.
know, because
And I
Rightfully so.
I should not have lost my cool like that.
no, it's
But there are
it's
people
real.
that should be here with us, and there are people that I know personally that have tried to not
Yeah.
be here, that I love
Yeah.
very much,
It's awful.
and that's not okay.
No, it's not.
And this whole apologetic shit gets really tiring, especially when it comes to taking advantage of people and doing this whole
You're not good enough.
nonsense about like you're, paying attention to the insider, the tribe thing
Hmm.
over facts when it has nothing to do with your religion, and yet your religion is dictating how people that aren't part of your culture are being treated.
Hmm.
And it's little things that add up
Yeah.
that just bring it to this boiling point where it just like, I don't even know what to do
It's okay
because
to
I
be
want to do
angry.
something. I'm
I
really
know.
fucking angry.
And you should be. And everyone to a certain degree should be. But especially when you know certain people. Yeah.
But I'm not just
You're okay
angry.
to be
I'm
angry.
sad
Mhm.
because this all was preventable.
It is. It is.
And
And life is a beautiful gift.
I just, when I hear things like it's okay to swear and it's okay to cuss and it's okay to take, do what you want because, you're just going to get less blessings.
That's a cop out.
Sweet summer child, if you're even still here. No, that's not how it works.
Yeah.
Not even kind of. Like, I agree that there's a distinction between taking the Lord's name in vain and using it in, I'm going to act based on, like, I'm going to say something like God intended me to go and commit genocide.
Hmm.
Is
That
way
is a
different.
sin.
Way different than me sitting here saying, God fucking damn it!
That's just an expression.
Because I stubbed my toe.
Yeah.
But if I would have said that, I would have been in trouble. I wasn't even committing genocide.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, we could.
And so many people who just literally wanted to love somebody else were excommunicated or kicked out of their houses when they were 14 years old, left with nothing because the church told them to. Don't tell me that these people aren't doing a thing and taking advantage of people, taking advantage of business, sending you, my good sir, $500,000 into debt.
That should be a wake-up call.
Don't tell me that that's not part of some bigger thing. And I know that it's not the institutional thing that's out there doing that as part of Intellectual Reserve Incorporated.
IRI Inc.
I know
that's
it's
one
not
of
them.
the church publishing trademarks.
Oh, I didn't.
Sorry, Bob. Sorry, Mama.
Sorry, let me write down this lingo. Because I just look like an idiot if I don't know the right words.
Intellectual Reserve holds their intellectual properties.
Yeah, it's all the IP stuff.
Oh, okay.
So yes, I know that it's not them.
Not
but
directly.
You can't sit here with a straight face, pardon any pun, and tell me that the church and the culture has nothing to do with the corruption, the grift, all of it. You can't. I can't. And I'm actually legitimately shocked, legitimately surprised that you were part of, as a member, that they fucked you over like that. I thought they would give you a pass, and it was absolutely. My jaw hit the goddamn desk. I was listening earlier, and I was like, they literally had a fucking truck at your store. Like putting your, just like, are you fucking kidding me with this?
I like what he says here. I was always taught to have a testimony on God and the gospel, not the structure or people. People will do whatever what they want in the name of the church and other things.
Look,
but there's a little more
honey,
to it.
I want to believe that, and look, bless your summer heart, but like there is no separation between that.
Not if you believe in sustaining your prophets, seers, and revelators.
Nope, there's no separation. You can't separate that. I'm sorry.
I know, Buffy.
I want to give
everybody.
I'm not trying to break your religion. I'm not trying to break your shelf, but like you cannot set those things are inseparable. The people are the religion. The people are the authority.
And sadly, they have none.
And I'm sorry that it takes me yelling into my microphone to do that and to sit here and literally write out a lot of these words that you said earlier today, like.
Well, I'll say this.
I'm sorry. I'm really sorry.
I'm not a religious person. It's no secret. I have a very big problem with institutional religion. That's why you won't find me in one, because I don't want anybody to tell me what I can and cannot think. But in relics, I mean, relic is Mormon. I'm not, but I do agree. Like, the people that want to do bad things will go wherever they want and to make bad things happen. But the problem is when people don't call out the bad shit happening and being like, well, and that is not Mormon specific. All right. We have a big problem with that in all of the other religions around.
Let's go into Christian evangelicalism. Like, do you want to go there tonight? Because we'll be here for another 3 fucking hours.
Exactly. You know what I mean? Like, people that are ill-intentioned, that want to hurt people, will find the avenue to do it, and they don't care. And it hurts real people who are trying to be good and who are trying to do the right thing. Well, what they believe to be good and the right thing, whatever that may be. It's something that's always happened and will unfortunately always happen. But I just want to say, I understand your guys's feelings, your experience, your religious trauma, if you will, because when I sent you guys that email earlier tonight apologizing for using the wrong word, excommunicated, to me that word didn't mean anything. And then I sat and I thought about it, and I was like, oh shit, because to me, like, that it's like somebody could say it and I'd be like, whatever, but when that was your life, like, that's your religious experience, and I can see I'm seriously apologizing for using that and speaking wrongly of that, because that experience and what's the word I'm looking for? Not the connotation of the word. Is that the right word?
Context?
I'd go with that.
Yeah. And what that means, that if I were to use the word excommunicated and that's not what happened, reputation-wise and your experience was not actually what happened. Like, you guys chose to leave because of your I guess what I'm saying is I thought a
Because it was a
lot about
dangerous
this.
place.
Yeah,
I
it
thought
was
a lot
unsafe.
about this afterwards,
Sure.
and I was
Because
just
it's a
like,
lot. And this is why it goes beyond Legos.
Yeah.
right,
That's why
right.
it goes beyond Legos.
And that's just not something I've ever really experienced. I mean, I never really fit into our church, but that's not a surprise to anyone. But to even have like excommunication was not a thing in the small church my grandparents went to. I mean, it was a small country church, non-denominational, basically. It wasn't really a thing.
Yeah.
So what comes along with that is basically somebody saying you're not good enough to be with us anymore. And I didn't think of that and what that means overall. And again, I'm really glad that I was corrected on stream about the difference between that and what that word means. And I get the passion. You guys have had real experiences, real trauma. You have lost real people to
I'm
this.
goddamn close
Dear
to losing real
people.
people too.
Very
If
dear
not,
people.
and I don't want to speak for you, but if not yourselves, I would imagine would be
Damn
difficult
close.
to be gay and Mormon. I
I
imagine.
am so lucky that the thought of ending it has not crossed my mind because of how many people have.
Yeah. And but maybe you guys talking about this, maybe there's a little gay little Mormon boy out there who feels like,
God, I hope so.
And I hope that things at least have changed in a way to where perhaps maybe they feel safer. But
They've
maybe
got a
they're
lot more
listening
work to
and
do.
they'll know that it's okay. Don't choose that. You are not alone. In these
You do
things.
not have to sacrifice yourself on the altar of faith.
You may feel very alone right now, but you're not.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I would even give Relic a challenge because I like giving members a challenge. I do. Just like I gave my sister a challenge because my sister is still a very good active member. All of her kids, my niece and nephew, went through all of the steps of church, served their missions, went through BYU, etc., etc., etc. One of them has gone into the military, strangely enough. And I challenged my sister because we talked about some of these things that Jeep Daddy has expressed so passionately. Because the church can be a very harmful place. Be the lighthouse. Be that safe harbor where there are places in many wards and stakes where there are none. And see if you can save some lives.
Yeah.
And I think Relic is the kind of good guy where he would be up to that kind of challenge. Because I promise, there is a gay or trans or some other kind of person in his own ward hiding as best as they can. So as not to be damaged by the system.
I'll put 5 paychecks on that chip.
Well, I can vouch about this. He was an incredibly nice guy, and just nice. He was very down to earth, very kind, very,
And I said
and
that
if
I would
there's
save
any
my
better missionary effort, it is for the least among us.
Look,
not just the good convert who will get baptized, but some of the most hurt people born into the church. Because I was one of those, and I came close, damn close, to not being here today. I was one of them.
Well, I'm really glad you're here.
I consider it an intervention of God, quite frankly. Without downing...
Funny enough, huh?
Well, yes, because I had the plan. The plan was timed, and it should have worked out the way it should have. But that plan that day, for some reason, at that time on that day, changed. And it
because you're supposed to be my new
out.
best friend, obviously.
I know. See? So even sometimes the best laid
Buffy's
plans
best
of
friend,
humans...
so whatever.
No, that's a beautiful message that I think you both just shared there. And thank you, because that's very, very real.
Well, good for his dad. And I want to read this too.
Okay.
Because I want to give kudos where there are kudos to be given. And Relic says, I got to tell you tell you guys some stories of when my dad was a bishop and helped a young man be okay with his sexuality.
Good.
Wow.
I'd love to hear it.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I would say, give your dad a hug for me for that one, because that's not
Same.
easy as a bishop.
Yeah, no kidding.
That's not easy as a bishop. And not only to have that conversation with that member and their sexuality, but to do so in a loving, compassionate way. And I hope it didn't stop there. I hope it also continued making them feel welcome, valued, and included in the ward.
Yes.
Because that's
do everything possible to do that. Everything. Even sacrifice your bishopric for that.
Yeah. I'm sure it kind of probably maybe, I don't want to speak, I don't know, but.
And there are some places, there are not very many, where there are some gay people. I even know of one particular situation with the former BYU mascot, where him and essentially his husband are in a ward together. It's very rare. And it's in a very progressive ward, and that could change as soon as the leadership changes to not be so inclusive, but yet they are there. It can be done.
Yeah.
But it takes so much effort, and it's got to get beyond people going along with the top-down structure where we do what the brethren say and we don't deviate. Right. Because sometimes they are wrong. And even though Dallin H. Oak says we can't be criticized, even if the criticism is true, that is a sin. And I will take Dallin Oaks on that one all the way to kingdom come. Because he's wrong.
You guys did say earlier that there are these different wards who are becoming more, what's the word? Liberal,
more
if you will. I don't know.
They're
flexible.
There's some that just simply don't choose to share a lot of information upward.
Yeah.
I can imagine.
And sometimes they're caught, and sometimes they are corrected. Like I think there was one ward in the San Francisco area that actually had women sitting up next to the authority brethren up there, and they got chastised and corrected.
Relic also says the entire ward embraced him, and he still goes to church and is open about it 30 years later. I am so happy to hear that.
That's excellent.
That is statistically rare.
It is very rare.
Well,
and I'm happy to hear that.
A beautiful thing.
And so what I promised mid rant. lengthy rant. I mean, I'm
surprised his voice held out for all that.
Hey, I've learned so much.
Llama's mind is blown.
It really is. I mean, no, it's. I like it.
Technically, I'm not done with my list, but I'm done with my list.
Do you want to just sort of sum up? It has been 3 hours.
I get it.
I know. Basically, it's a lot about the swearing and taking God's name in vain. I mean, I summarized a lot of that.
That's minor. That's trivialities at this point, sir.
It is trivialities because it was kind of towards the end and everything. But like, I think, that the standing question that I deflected until I was done with my epic 3-hour rant here for this show was...
You're almost on a llama level.
It's like, Jeep Daddy, you aren't quite there yet to my level.
I'm not, but Llama hasn't seen my loop component with all of my timelines and my notes.
Share it with her. She'll get a kick
out. Stop talking dirty to me, Jeep Daddy. Oh my God.
Oh, yeah.
Stop it. Yeah. Spreadsheets and timelines.
Good time at Llama's house on Friday is looking at the family budget.
Yeah.
Llama, honey. I've got a few spreadsheets that Mr. Llama may even want me over.
Okay. Somebody's getting pregnant tonight.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Just kidding.
Not me. Anyway, so the question that was posed to me about halfway through this was, does any of these opinions or anything change my analysis around what Relics had said during the stream about his
credibility?
His credibility. Thank you.
Credibility was the word. Yeah.
No. Now, I believe everything that was talked about and the experiences about how he built the brand, he built the franchise the way that he thought he was going to do it.
And was successful.
Very successful. I don't doubt for a fucking second that there was all of the things that occurred and talked about. So I'm not questioning any of that. Not at all. And again, I feel awful that regardless of that, for whatever reason was there, and I thought the person, my inquisitive sort of nature of what actually happened, which is that security type IR investigative.
I want to be the
thing.
fly on the wall watching everybody and everything.
No.
I want to know.
Yeah.
I want to tell me everything. I remember that scene from, what was it? Oh, stuff is falling down the cubbyhole so late.
Oh my God. Would you just get a hold of yourself, Echoes? Jesus
from
Christ.
Indiana Jones 4, and what's her name? She was the Russian or whatever.
Nobody watched that movie, Echoes. It sucked. Nobody watched it.
Well, I watched it just because I wanted to see. But
yes,
that was funny. The way you sink those wubbayous, I would say.
Yeah. So overall, yes, I believe that there is still credibility to the story that
Absolutely.
that happened with all of the shenanigans that happened, like literal shenanigans that happened with your store. And I think it's an abomination that corporates stepped in for fucking no good reason to go and do this stuff. Like, it's nonsensical. And I don't know why they did that. Because, I mean, why would they not want to just get their fucking franchise fees? But the corporate fixers obviously showed up. Because
when you make more money in turning over assets, you make more money.
Yes, because the grift has to grift. And again, this is where we disagree, Relic, is the grift is because it's part of the culture of and the susceptibility. The same reason why you didn't take measures to protect yourself, i.e. record stuff, track stuff, all of that, right? You just believed these people when they told you that.
In fairness, he said he had already built relationships with them, though. They played video game. I mean, that is a little bit harder.
Right. But that's
like,
all the
for
lure.
example, you guys, like, we've hung out enough that, like, you know, I do, in his defense, I do understand that.
Yeah. And I do too.
And that's
because,
more
I mean,
difficult.
I come, obviously I was raised in a culture where,
yes, Llama, I would agree with that.
But like, I remember distinctly on a number of occasions where like my mom was selling an item out of the house, and like somebody, like the buyer showed up in scrubs because she just got done with her round at the local hospital or whatever. And like, oh, you're a nurse or you're like a medical person. Let me tell you about my son's asthma and all the things and why he hasn't like breathed well on this couch and da-da-da-da-da. And it's just like, what? Why would you say that? Why would you volunteer that? And it's a cultural thing of just like implicit trust of like, oh, you're showing up as a doctor. You're showing up as a nurse. You're showing up as a dentist. You're showing up as an IT guy.
But again, I'm sorry, but again, I understand it could be a culture thing, but that's a human thing as well. We always want to trust immediately that people aren't going to fuck you over. All of us inherently want to see the good in someone before we do the bad. And as we get older, that we're like, okay, we shouldn't be
test this a little more.
Trusting right away. Because I'm one of those people. I believe that there are more good people than bad. But there are, you know, when there's 8 billion people on a planet, that means about 1 to 2 billion people are assholes, at least minimum. It's more assholes, but evil, like bad people.
Yes.
I mean, because an asshole is an asshole. It doesn't mean all assholes are bad people. Okay. Sometimes I was an asshole today.
I thought there was going to be some descriptors going on there. That was getting nervous. Doesn't mean you pucker the same way.
No, right. Exactly.
Look, Llama, I understand. I understand what you're saying. I think that there's a thing. There's more
in what you're saying. It's kind of mandated.
The level of trust is more implicit.
There is more because like I don't understand how then like there's so much manipulation that can occur in the Mormon culture. I'll use the word culture rather than the church, right? Because like I want to disambiguate if there's plenty of manipulation and bullshit inside the church.
Having dated some Brazilian guys, I agree with this.
I would love to date a Brazilian guy.
I don't mean to pause your story, but because I was very nervous the last couple days that we were going to have this interview with the last relic. Because I'm like, fuck, I'm like so behind in everything. Like I don't want to, because it's one thing to talk to all of the Laura Owens people. Oh, yeah. Right? It's kind of a little nerve-wracking to go into this other world and start talking to people.
A whole nother crowd.
It is,
crowd,
you know?
different,
different vibes and everything. So
Yeah.
I was like really, really nervous about it. And like I kind of knew his story from like Reddit, and I've seen him around in different places. But I was like, okay, I'm gonna sit down. It was like 10 o'clock last night, and I was like, fuck it. I'll stay up late as fuck watching stuff, so that way I don't come across like an idiot. Because you guys do know me, like I'm a prepared person.
You are thorough.
You are.
I do.
Yes.
I really like, I don't want to be, if I have somebody on, I don't want to be like everybody else and ask like the same dumbass questions about things. But I watched one of his videos. I started with like this Q&A that he did. And 10 minutes into it. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna have no problems talking to this guy. Like we're gonna be fine. Calm down, llama. Go get some sleep because you're doing a show early tomorrow because
just be
Ben
a nerd,
had to drop a new video.
Yeah.
But no, immediately from watching his video, I was like, oh, we're gonna do great. And like as soon as he popped in behind the scenes while we were getting ready for the nicest fucking guy, like nice guy. Like we have so much in common. And I do think too, when it comes to, and Jeep Daddy, I do want to give you credit because I do feel like we live in a world today where, and this is our culture and our society and where we are with technology, that if somebody does one thing that we don't agree with, then they are a villain. We can't trust anything they say. They should be thrown in the garbage and done. This zero tolerance policy that's been breeding for 20 or 30 years.
Yes, I agree.
That I do think, while that seems like that should be a common thing everybody does, what you did, right? Like there's these parts we agree on, but that doesn't take away from this, is a rarity nowadays. It really, really is. And I wish people had more, like you got to express all of the things you disagreed with and for reasons why. It was not I just disagree with you. This is, I have my experience.
Here's my
perspective.
I didn't even get through all the things. I only got through like 10 and a half things and I had more. Just kidding.
But no, that is,
jokes aside,
that is in a sense an incredible kindness, because in the end, we are all humans. In the end, we're all fallible. We all make mistakes. We all do believe in all of that. And I just want to say, I appreciate that because there's a reason why I don't have social media. There's a reason why my Reddit account, you will not see very many comments. And that's because those are worthless conversations to have.
Yeah.
And I thought, I've learned so much from you guys tonight. Stuff I can't learn on my own. I can only learn through your guys' experience. And I feel like while tonight was very passionate and for good reason, it was handled in a way that was about teaching, was about learning, was about sharing and saying, hey, this is why this is different. This is why this isn't what it was. And as somebody who has no dog in this Mormon world at all, I do want to say I find it to be rather beautiful. And I do appreciate that attempt of what you guys have done here tonight. So,
well, thank you for being part of it too.
Yeah, no, I mean,
I really appreciate it
because I didn't know where this was going.
Well, no, I mean, very passionate. But like the passion is there because it's real.
Yeah.
You know, it's one thing for people to be like, you know, I'm passionate about this thing, and they really have no basis for their passion.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
When it's performative, it's something else.
Yeah.
Right.
This is
this is genuine, is what I'm saying.
And
like,
and
I
want to be
feelings
very,
that are genuine.
Yeah. And I want to be very clear. If I were ever invited onto Relic's stream, or if I were ever to make it sound like this is my fucking stream, but it's not. But like, if I were ever to have Relic on this stream,
like Jeep Daddy show tonight.
Yeah. I would absolutely, I would break bread with you.
Yeah. Well,
because I have some wine.
Conversations are important, and we're losing that as a society.
Exactly. Exactly.
I look at the nuance between things. Like a lot of people, like to your point, Llama, like they look at the binary and they're just like, oh, that one thing, and they're just like, bam, it's like that ever. It's like I look at and I frustrate myself on an hourly basis, and I also probably frustrate my therapist on an
join the club, girl. Join the club. Me too.
Because like I'm looking at all the new, I frustrate the fuck out of Echoes almost every day, you know, with this, but like I try to look at the nuance of that.
Oh, he's calling you out now.
No, I'll say this. Relic did
don't-
tell me he is not the kind of person that is afraid of confrontations.
It's
That he
fine. Just
likes
every
to
time I
have.
win an argument, you take a piece of clothing off. That's fine.
Wow. Strip, what do you call it? Strip, can't say strip poker. Work
Strip
on
debate.
that.
But he was
Okay.
like, no, like I'm not one, like I'm not afraid of confrontations. I'm about conversations. And again, for me, I am that kind of person. I'm sure you've gathered with the few times we hung out. Like I like conversations about whatever. I don't even care what it is. I want to have
Yep.
it. Let's talk about it, no matter how
Brain
weird it is.
engagement.
Yes. I
Mhm.
mean, to me, that's
Yep.
the sexiest thing in the world. Like I told Elbow Feet because he's so funny. I was like, honey, you're lucky you're smart, and then funny, and then cute. It helps.
In that order.
But I feel like, these are the kind of conversations that you don't get to have in one, echo chambers, two, in comment sections. And I mean, I know Relic wasn't here to defend himself tonight, but I did not feel like
Well,
this
kind
was
of.
like
a sort of
A little
fuck
bit.
you
When he came
sort
in,
of thing. And no, I thought it was.
Yeah,
I know
and
you were
I
going to talk
designed-
about Ben's part 3 tonight, and that didn't happen. But I think this was a very important conversation.
I structured this. This wasn't designed as a go fuck yourself relics thing.
I know
like,
you
there
well
was
enough.
definitely like
Although he could if he wanted to.
I could have, and I absolutely
Earth.
would have torched the fucking building down.
Scorched Earth.
But that's not really my MO. I don't pull that out unless I absolutely need to. And so this was like, that's why I took the time to look at the specific words, and I wanted to make sure that the words that I captured were accurate and express the rebuttals around why that's not the case. Because like, and I only focused on once it started to go into this the theological ish and culture ish sort of space. I didn't do again, everything prior to that fucking above board and legit, and that doesn't take away at all from that. Like I picked up on and this is the thing like that I kind of pride myself on a little bit, because Echoes was just completely oblivious to all of these little like signals that were there. And I'm just like, ding, 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 ding. And I'm just like, thank you, ADHD brain, because I picked up on all of this fucking stuff. And
Sometimes trying to listen is not good while at work. And it's like I'm being talked to.
I have a distinct advantage because like I'm not in a shop. I'm in
I was on site.
Chief Daddy's office. It's slaving away with corporate daddy. But then I hear like, oh, what's that word? And it's like, it's like a squirrel. I'm just like, I got
Spidey senses tingling.
Yeah. So, and again, this was definitely like focused on these like fundamental disagreements around these things that it's a very different lived experience for somebody who's 30 versus somebody who's 40 something.
Mm-hmm.
We just come from different eras. Like Echoes said, his temple experience was very different. Only by about 4 years when they changed that. For reasons that wasn't Relic's experience. That's okay, but
because it will always change. I promise the church is always changing.
That doesn't negate what other people's experiences are, and it also doesn't negate the history and the arc of where a lot of these themes sort of weave and interplay. There's like Lama, your comments around like tribalism and the whole like people just sort of do that as like nature. Yes, we get around the people that sort of like, oh, we're going to do, we agree with this stuff or whatever, but like there's certain cultures that sort of perpetuate that easier.
Right, like it's more of a requirement, basically. Like
it's a requirement, but it's also just like
there's
more trust. There's like the barrier to entry is much lower, and because like I think if I think about my average like friends that I have, some that Echoes knows, like R and T and maybe Realtor B and that, like, do you think that like if presented with a business opportunity to sell essential oils, would fly with either of them?
Yes. Do it.
With who? realtor?
Yes.
Well, maybe. No, but
just because that's his type.
I right.
He's
okay,
high
fine.
class.
But like, but he'd be. I think there'd be a level of skepticism around like, oh well, it's not just the fact that you are buying it from me as a wholesaler, but now you need to sell it to other people, and you need to like push that on other people and find other business owners that want to start their business and like do the thing. Again, that is
because
so,
you learn that as a missionary is how to sell the church,
right?
You know, what am I
being in the MTC?
And that's a thing. That's such a thing. There's a reason why those business models and that MLM pyramid schemes are so
strong in Utah.
They're so strong because it's embedded in that, and it's unique. It's so unique that the effort to get into that is so much lower. And that's my point with a lot of this stuff is like the getting into this franchise model and getting in and buying into this whole, like, you're going to make it rich if you just get into the right thing and you put enough time into that sort of thing. And it's like, that's so embedded into the same culture that just happens to believe that Joseph Smith restored the gospel that Jesus Christ wrote and then ended up burying in the mountains of fucking New York.
Oh, well, I wonder this question too, because I do believe that Mormonism has played a role in this story, and specifically, it is to be undisputed that it plays a role between Ammon. Sorry, I'm doing my best.
Rude, you're
day
fired.
one back. It's day
Fired.
one back to doing BAM. I'm doing my best, guys. Okay.
It's like 3:00 in the morning over here.
I am. All right. But I'm going to get it down. I promise. But, you know, Ammon, Josh, Brandon,
Matt,
some of the officers that they dealt with, without a doubt, I do believe that that is the case. But what I wonder too, now that you bring that up, I hadn't really thought about it before, but I mean, listen, they're all fucking assholes. They're all assholes. They're all garbage people who took advantage and ruined real people, good people's lives. And I don't give a fuck if they're Mormon or not. They're fucking assholes. All right. And they deserve
fundamentally
to be called. Yeah. They deserve to be called assholes. But I do think that it plays a little bit of
all of them if I were really
goddamn right I would. Fuck.
I wonder, and I said I wonder how many, because Last Relic said when he came on, they were at about 50 stores. And then within, I want to say he said a year, it was well over 100, I believe. Sorry. It's like
I can imagine how they did that.
But did they target Mormon people to get into franchises?
I would say on a certain percentage, but remember that Ammon
to take advantage of their good nature. Like
remember that what Ammon
look at what they did to Relic.
Well,
that's what I didn't think about it until
before.
But even still, like, how many of those other franchisers? Like, we'll never know the true answer. But I mean, how many of those other ones were actually
a good percentage?
But
I
mean, obviously they aren't all, and I'm not claiming they are all at all.
But the model came from what Ammon did before with the other business.
His dad did it, was a grifter too.
Yes, because they would go to all the medical trade shows and pitch their wares. I'm quite certain there are Lego shows or Bricks and Minifigs might have been offering franchises and started luring people in. It was, in my opinion, they just used the same model from Dad's business for his franchise operations.
I have not went that depth into the McNeff franchise. I mean, I'm going to, obviously. I just haven't had the time to, because I already, the first day we heard about this case, and I was like, these guys don't want to get close to federal court. These guys are doing shady shit, and they don't want people to know about it, and they're dirty, allegedly.
Hopefully they're smarter than Laura.
Buffy's not here.
Hopefully
I didn't even know they were Mormon when I contacted them, and most owners are definitely not. Okay. Well, thank you for answering my question. I appreciate that. Just because I do feel like Amen. I know Relic had talked to Matt and got that phone call with Matt, and not a lot's known about Matt. All right, but I will say that Amen, in my opinion, these are all my opinions, and not his or anybody else's, that Amen and Josh and Brandon, at the very least, knew they were in cahoots together. You can't change my mind. All right. I haven't even dug that deep into this yet to be like, all my alarm bells are going off.
If I recall correctly, Josh and Brandon both came from Legally Mine.
Yeah, there's some weird thing. I don't know enough to speak on it because I haven't
Yeah, I'm
dived in
still
there, so I
digging
try
there,
not to.
so
But
that's a bit of speculation on my point. But it seems to me at least one of them, if not both, came with him
mm,
when they were building BAM
because
from that
still
enterprise.
I don't understand their business plan. Like I
The
can't.
business plan
It
is to
blows me
suck
away.
up as much as they can, suck
Well,
out as much money as they can,
I
and the
it's
collateral
just
damage of
deplorable.
business structure is irrelevant to them.
Because
Because based upon what I read about Legally Mine, that's kind of how that was built too.
well, just like
Legally shaky structure, legally
yeah,
shaky business practice, and Legally Mine was sued in the state of Ohio for trying to practice law without a license.
yes. Well, just as I said
Ooh,
about organized
llama
religion and stuff.
exclusive.
I know, right? I
No,
can't wait
this
till I
is
get
out
into
there.
it. I mean, the Supreme Court's literally 2 miles from my house, so
Oh
it's
dear.
fine. I
Wow.
could go there. Yeah, I live in the city,
One
so
was doxing herself.
Well,
not
she just
quite,
doxed herself on
not quite.
Echo's channel.
No, but like how I said, like I don't like it when even organized religions take advantage of people's niceness and bad things can happen. The same goes with businesses.
Sure.
And I'm sorry, but like people don't understand until they run their own what all is
It's scary.
sacrificed and goes into it. And
Blood, sweat, and tears. Small
And then
business.
especially,
some.
I mean, I wish money didn't run the world, but it does. That's
But
the
it does.
reality. And the consequences that even we don't even know about yet, about the damage that they have allegedly done. I don't want to know what it's the ripple effect it's had on former franchisee owners, their families, their lives. Even today, Relic talked about when all of a sudden store's done, they're not open the door. Everybody, his former employee, everybody lost their job that day. And
I,
I mean, I know business can be business. It happens. It
yeah,
does.
but I
That's
mean,
part.
if you're
But
running a successful franchise business, you don't just suddenly parachute in and just like
no,
hostily take over a fucking store and then
exactly.
like ruin everything. I mean, why wouldn't what's the incentive there? Why wouldn't you just let it continue to feed you fucking money and you have to do very little of the work?
Yeah. It's
Like,
like being fucking evil for no reason, quite frankly. It's something I can't
yeah,
quite
I just don't
comprehend
understand
that.
that.
It doesn't. And it's deplorable. And again, I think that is, I could tell you that's why I want to cover this story as much as I can and get it out there to as many people. Because, listen, the McNeffs, or whether it's one, the other, the Josh and the Brandons of the world, they're not the only ones out there.
Nope.
Oh, fuck
All
no.
right. And
It's not
I
like
do
Laura
think
Tip of
Owen
the
that
is the only
iceberg.
person out there either doing what she's fucking doing, right?
exactly. And I do think people need to be educated on that fact. Now, Relic, what sounded a lot different than some of the other franchise owners. He went to legal. He negotiated. He
Mm-hmm.
He
actually
was
did the
smart.
right thing. He was a very smart
He was
business
smart.
owner. And I do agree. That's really what everyone should do, but not everybody knows that.
Correct.
And because they are, they're trusting an inherent nature. All again, add
Mm-hmm.
back to my thing, right? These people,
Easy to
and I
take
think
advantage of.
well,
Yes.
yes, but as Relic said too, like,
Yeah.
why would this end up going the way that I thought it was going? You wouldn't, because it doesn't make any
Well,
sense,
no, because you
you know?
trusted. And that's part of my
'Cause
point of like the
they're a
Mormon thing is
hierarchy.
there because
Yeah.
it's like that whole implicit trust thing is sort of just implied like
Mhm.
extra beyond just like, oh, this seems like a cool person. This is very much like, oh, like yeah, you're part of my team. Like you're cool.
Like
Now I
And
Jack
I know that he
Fox.
just said that he didn't think that they were Mormon when they were
Look at
talking,
the
but like
words, like Jack Fox. The words will tell you everything.
I mean, I
the
had
words told
strong
me
Oh my
opinions
everything.
gosh.
about corporations, but
The
that's just
words
me.
told me everything earlier today.
Yeah.
And then I get to gloat. And I said,
Yes, you do.
I was right, Echoes. I was
Yes, you
fucking
do.
right. I'm going to
And had
I
I
continue to
been
did.
gloat
more
as
of
long as I can.
more attentive, you wouldn't have had that point on me today.
I did write down the 7-Eleven, so I don't know what that's
Mm.
about. But I mean, listen,
I've been hearing rumors about this that
I have
I want to look into it too.
very strong opinions about corporations and but then it goes into political territory, and quite frankly, I don't really like
Yeah.
to get into that territory, because nothing hardly ever good happens going there. But it's what the tactics of BAM are used a lot.
Mm-hmm.
A lot in corporate
Yeah.
America.
A lot.
It's a very big problem that comes with real people having to face the real consequences. Someone once asked me, like, do you think that Eamon and them are going to have any real consequences from this?
Ammon.
Ammon, thank you. Ammon. In fairness, it's House of
Ammon
Dragons
was a
time,
lame
okay?
man.
And everybody's name starts with A. I don't know your song. Okay, I don't know your song. All right.
Relic should.
I didn't even know that until you guys mentioned it. But
Book of Mormon stories.
that my teacher tells to me.
Yeah. Given this land, and I remember all the what would now be considered
Oh,
racist gestures
really,
too.
really uncouth.
God.
Like, oh
who
my
was it?
God.
Someone said, "Can we talk about racism and Mormonism?" Not tonight.
Not
tonight. We'll be here for a while. Oh,
Look,
I know what I was saying.
My
was
batteries are almost out, so like,
was that will Eamon and them face any real consequences? Not in the way probably people want them to. Maybe.
Correct.
I'll be honest. If
There's a chance.
If the feds start investigating, then yes.
There's a chance. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Just
if
like
you want them, it's the
just
feds
like with
that are
Laura
going to.
Owens, like this could go sideways for her with this bankruptcy real fast.
Yeah, you don't
Wouldn't
fuck
that
with
be
the feds. And that's why I
Yeah,
don't think
just
they want to
don't
go
do
to the discovery phase. I think a lot of people who aren't into the same stuff we are don't understand that in the end, the people, and this is why I really want to get this story out there, is because eventually they're never going to face the same consequences that other
They will
people had
start
to.
over with
Yeah.
something
Exactly.
new, and
They
and
they
it
were
reduces
they
the
have
level.
fucking
Yeah.
silver spoons in their mouth. All right, whether or not they're talking to their dad or not, I don't know their fucking weird
Doesn't matter.
relationship. It doesn't matter.
doesn't matter.
And so that's why I think this story needs to get out because
Mhm.
of the real people affected by this. The people like Relic, the people like Crystal and Ben. I get it. Some people don't agree with all of their business. They weren't fucking perfect. And again, that fits. That's what pisses me off about the internet. And I refuse to fight. But that is some perfect victim bullshit.
Yeah.
Is what that is.
We like
All
to
right.
victim blame in these here United States.
Sure do. Sure do.
And take advantage of the victims too, to like for your own, to get your own means.
Yeah.
But the people that were affected by all of this bullshit, this alleged bullshit going on, they are going to suffer more consequences than any of those motherfuckers. And that
Many of them will lose everything.
They'll lose everything.
Yep.
And it doesn't even just stop with them. It can affect their generations, their children, and their children's children.
Because Relic ended up in $500K worth of fucking debt over this. Like, how the fuck do you recover from $500,000 in debt when it's not a goddamn house? Like,
and then other people who knows could have developed drug and alcohol addictions because of the stress they were under, or God forbid, something incredibly worse and violent than that. Like, there are real people to this story, and I hope that and that's why I appreciate Relic speaking out, because it is putting yourself out there, right? You have all these people on the internet that want to dissect you and tear you apart. And I know that some have. I know that some have. And to speak out.
I did a little bit tonight, but you know, it's not for those reasons.
One, to be sort of a I don't know if whistleblower is the correct term here, but it does take a lot of balls to do that. And I do appreciate that. And I do hope more people come forward. But I also understand they're scared.
There's more.
There's absolutely more. And there's definitely way more tragic stories. I am sure of that. And that's, I just, maybe, who knows, someday somebody's going to hear this story and be like, oh, because Relic, as soon as Ben's video came out and Crystal and Ben's story, he was like, oh my God, me too. Me too. Like, and I know that there have to be other people out there, whether they want to come forward or not is their business. We should never pressure anybody to come forward. Give congrats and kudos to those that do, but that doesn't make them any better than, or the other people less than, for not coming forward. Because this is serious.
Because there could be far more high stakes for other people.
Far more high stakes. Legal stakes are at hand. It's a gamble, and I understand it either way, and I do appreciate him trying to get his story out there too, because he's not asking for nothing, guys. He's not. He's not, he doesn't have a GoFundMe or anything. He's not trying to do that.
Yeah,
He's
a lot of his
trying.
channel
I
is
wouldn't blame him.
Yeah,
Relic's
like
channel is still a lot about other nerd culture stuff. So
yeah,
like, it's not
it's not about the fame or the message or
right.
any. I mean, but he dealt with all of the same people, and look at what these people are doing to some guy like Ben.
Mhm.
Personally, I think Relic doesn't really give a shit. What that was my taking from today is like fucking
Mhm.
bring it on, I guess, if you really have a problem with me.
Mhm.
But
I hope for his case that it doesn't, because if Relic gets sucked into the legal vortex of this thing,
yeah,
and should this thing take on water, which I suspect it will for BAM corporate, it
oh, it
could
is.
take a lot
Yeah.
of people down, and it could
It's like
become
I
a
said in
legal
chat.
fight like crazy.
Well, it's like I said earlier, like in your chat, Llama. It's like this is the playbook of like they're just going to suffocate and draw
Absolutely.
it out, and then like people like Relic will be in a plus $200,000 in lawyer debt, and then like,
Or more.
He's lucky.
or more, yeah, and like, oh well, I guess I can't continue because I need to file fucking bankruptcy and I still need to feed my 3 fucking kids. Like, yeah,
Yeah,
no, that's
real life.
that's what
Yeah.
they fucking do. Like,
It's not a game built for
But
us.
if there was
Nope.
enough people who came forward, there could be a class action.
And that's what I hope for, but I
maybe.
understand people scared. And
Yeah.
again, I got some dumbass comment today, which, by the way, I don't know if Buffy responded back to it because it's fucking hilarious. This person, I don't know which channel he commented, if it was on my new one or the other one or not. But she sent me the screenshot, and they were just like, "Oh, that it wasn't necessarily where you paid to do this, but like, you're a shill, blah blah blah, and whatever." And I don't know if Buffy responded back with, because then he said something about how AI could be better lawyers than the ones
dear.
Ben hired or whatever, right?
Not
The
yet.
message was so incoherent. I don't know if
It's
Buffy
probably a
responded back.
bot.
Buffy was, she said she was going to say back, well, if this is any semblance of AI lawyers, then, or if AI lawyers are as incoherent as this post, then lawyers don't have to worry about their jobs because
Exactly.
it was outlandish. Outlandish. So I also understand people just not wanting to put themselves out on the internet because it is a very scary thing to do. Not everybody is kind.
You
People
have to
look
have a
at
damn
any
thick skin to
reason.
be on the internet.
You really,
And
really
that's if
do.
you aren't at risk of being a legal target.
Yeah, right, Les Ehrlich? I'd love to
Mm.
see them come after you too. Go get it. They would be foolish, but they've done dumber things. They have done way dumber things. But I think BAM, in my opinion, knows they're fucked. All right.
They sure screwed the pooch.
They sure
That
did.
was.
They
They
sure
I mean,
have
it's
to.
almost shocking.
They have to.
It suggests to me the level of incompetence running
Yes.
the corporation.
Yes.
That's
Their
why they're making
business.
up all that shit when they talk to the fucking police departments of like,
Yeah.
oh, Ben threatened to burn the building. No, we fucking didn't. You know that. Stop being a bitch.
Yeah.
That would be
right.
some great cross-examination.
Oh, I know. But like that's the thing,
That'd
right?
be
Is we've
delicious.
already their business practice. This is why I think a lot of people drew to the story. They're like, nothing you're saying makes any sense, bro.
Mhm.
All right, your business plan doesn't make sense. What you're doing to your franchises don't make sense. All right, what is really going on here? And they don't want things to get to Discovery now before people get their hopes up.
Yeah.
The Discovery can gets kicked and kicked and kicked and I mean, I have literally watched
running the
fucking
clock.
murder trials where the day
Yeah.
before they get a new thumb drive and they're like continuance. It doesn't matter if
for
it's
3
relevant.
months.
It doesn't matter if it's relevant Discovery or not,
Yeah.
right?
They're
They have
gonna
to allow
LO this
time.
thing.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
capoeira. Oh my gosh. No
Oh.
thanks going for the exotic
Where?
karate.
That's
I
fighting
knew someone who
dancing.
did that.
I learned that from
It's kind
Bob's
of
Burgers.
elegant.
Yeah. It's
And
dance
isn't
fighting.
isn't it Brazilian? If
Yeah.
I'm not mistaken, yeah.
I believe it is, yeah.
Yeah. I think so.
Brazilian dance fighting, Bob's Burgers, season 1.
I thought it was
Yeah,
kind of
I'm
sexy
just in
dance
America. I'm
fighting,
gonna
what I
just
saw.
fucking pew you. That's what's right. Yeah.
Hey,
do that.
You can't say those things
I
unless
said
you're
pew
Josh.
pew.
Unless you're Josh. Josh, it's fine apparently for him to say he could possibly shoot somebody and the cops are like, that's fine. Says no one ever. But
well,
no,
Whatever, I'm
that
just a
sentiment
sidekick now.
has.
Oh, wait,
that
was my show
sentiment has
tonight.
come from political arenas before. of
sure.
Doing such
But I
things
do
on
think
Times Square.
Yeah, really.
I do think those that I mean, no, none of us are lawyers. You guys are into this
Nope.
as well.
I'm just a nerd on the internet.
Oh, to see some of the comments I've seen on things where I'm
I
just
know.
like, you don't know how any of this works, guy. Like, I love your hopefulness. You can be hopeful and be a realist. What you don't want to be is be a
Naive and
hopeful
stupid.
altruist. All right? Because that's an altruist. You're not living in reality, boo. All right? Go pick up some philosophy books and go see why you're wrong. Okay? It's beautiful. It's a beautiful idea, but it's not real life. And I've seen some things where I'm just like, oh dear God, please let people keep covering this to hopefully educate the masses on these. I mean, are all the things we say right? No, but
we try to get it right.
We try our best, and we all three, again, we're not in the legal world, but we believe in transparency, and that's so people can learn how the system works. Transparency is so freaking important. And I think it was in one of the Ben hearings. I forget what happened. Maybe it's not. Maybe I'm confusing it with Laura. I know I heard about it and I was really fucking annoyed about it. Oh, you know what? I think it was Laura, that Helen bitch. I don't know who Helen is.
Oh,
but shut your fucking mouth, Helen.
Who appeared in the who was typing in the chat of the bankruptcy hearings?
It's unbelievable. No. I did bring this up with Bam because the judge had like a 6-page thing of decorum in the courtroom. And people were like, how dare you? And I'm like, y'all.
6 pages?
I don't, maybe not, maybe that might be hyperbolic. It was close. It was a lot of like telling people how to behave in the courtroom, which if you've ever watched Zoom court or been to court, fair enough, because nobody knows how to behave in court.
6 pages?
It was a lot. I don't know. It could have been
number
included.
One was, have clothes on.
Even then,
it's a circus. Oh, wait.
Shut the fuck up, Helen. I got words for Helen. who I think I know who Helen is.
That's a good one. That's right up there with that's right up there with Karen. It's like, shut the fuck up, Karen.
Well, so this was like a Zoom bankruptcy hearing, or it was a call. I don't remember. I think it was one of both.
2 of them.
Right. And so here's the thing. You would never sit in a gallery of a courtroom and shout, "I'll about the GoFundMe." No, nobody's doing that. You know why? Because they'll put your ass in fucking jail. All right. So just because you're sick,
dumbass.
Yeah. You don't do that. Nobody does that. Why would you think the rules changed just because there's a chat window? Who the fuck do you think you are, Helen?
Yeah.
Shut up.
Yeah, I don't think Helen is the real name.
No. It's somebody who, again,
I think we would both agree on who it is.
Yeah,
we'll talk about that later.
But yeah, but I don't want other people on the internet because, listen, Ben is already doing himself not very many good favors.
No,
it's
talk about Sweet Summer Childs.
But we don't need the public. But we don't need the public as well.
I know.
And
don't do it, folks.
One or two people is not representative of a whole community at all. But people who have never been involved in any of this stuff, no. Sit down. All right. Just sit there. Be cheerleaders, okay?
Close your lips. Keep your listening ears on. Fold your hands and do nothing.
Yeah. So, I that's why I'm more invested in this case. It's bigger than Ben. It's bigger than Bam. They're real people who are going to spend the rest of their lives reeling from the damage that this has done. And pick an avenue, Bam, Ben, the police, Mormonism, pick one. All right. There's people there that have been greatly affected. So I think it's a much bigger story and story that's going to be around for a while. Who do I think?
I'm not telling right now. But I'll bet Mama and I will agree on it because I know who attends. Well, I've got a pretty good idea who's attending.
Somebody who loves fucking attention and who's a dumb bitch that doesn't know what she's talking about.
What?
I've never read dumber shit in my life.
No.
Okay. I've never read dumber shit in my life from somebody who allegedly knows how things work.
Allegedly.
Also, learn how to use fucking Canva. Gross.
Hey, I use Canva.
No, that's what I'm saying. Me too. This person, I don't know, making shit that people made in like 1997 or something.
That's
are
what
you
mine
serious?
looks like. My blocking.
Oh,
See, I'm still learning how to massage the AI.
it's so cringy. Like, grow up. You want to be taken seriously? Grow the fuck up. Like, oh my God, with your stupid songs that they pair with things.
Okay, don't tell too much, Llama. Don't tell too much. Smear campaign.
It's fine.
Well, how do we wrap this thing up? We're clicking into 3.75 hours.
Well, I
And
just
at some
want to
point I have to
say,
go to bed.
I'll wrap it up. I will just say
Okay.
thank you both for one, having me on again.
Of course.
I love hanging out with you guys. So my time is going to
Of
be limited
course.
with Big Brother,
Yes.
but I'll do my best. But also taking the time to explain things. So because that's another reason, I do want to understand this one area that I have no experience or expertise in, to be able to talk about this in the appropriate and respectful ways. Because it is not my world. I do not understand any of this. I don't understand the lingo and the wording. And again, my wording can affect other people, whether it can persuade them, it could offend them. And those are certainly not things I ever want to do. And I really appreciate you guys for letting me take notes, giving me the rundown of things, and sharing your experiences. I really, really appreciate that.
Well, I think where Echoes and I have a really unique perspective on this is the Mormon angle of it. Like,
yeah. Well, I told you that's why you should cover it.
Yeah, we can weave in, because I mean, Echoes is definitely like skilled in LawTube and has a very analytical brain towards that sort of thing. So I think that's where he and I can like put a unique spin.
I should have followed the Mormon guidance and been a lawyer.
People are always like, Llama, you should go to law school. No, thank you.
Yeah.
No, thank you. I don't want to do that.
I just know how to I know how to herd the robots a little bit, and that site that was brought up in chat on your stream, the Ben with the map and all that fun stuff.
Oh, the BAM map. That's the website. I haven't looked at that yet.
Yeah, the robots
so much to look at
that website. So like I have enriched.
The robot what?
The robots love that My robots love that website. So I have enriched the threads with that, and that's only going to help like stitch a lot of these things together, especially with like the lore and the Mormonism.
Because they do a lot of the franchise stuff there too, or the businesses, the world there, if I remember right. It's on my spreadsheet.
I'm sorry, I'm distracted by what Relic put in the fucking chat, because
Stop it.
Relic can suck it.
No.
Never.
Yeah.
Never.
But no, they do that site does an amazing job of like the whole like cork board with the fucking strings and all the things, and so that helps just enrich the rest of the graph and be able to like drop in these anecdotes of like, oh, well, let's take a look at that angle, and like all that. I love the fact that there's like the court cases that are like, this was alleged, this was confirmed, this was that, this was this. And it's like, fuck, all right. That's like right up there with all of the resources from the Laura Owens universe too.
Yeah, no, this community, I think the community, the BAM community, they need to consolidate a little bit more and work together, but they're newbies. They're a month in.
They could use a little guidance here and there.
They could, but the work that I've seen,
there's some
going in and
work
collecting. Yes, absolutely. Some really, you can tell people are really invested in this for the right reasons. It is huge, and I've seen a lot of the work going on, and that's no joke. All right, we can sit here and talk. I'm a behind the scenes girl myself. All right, the man hours that are going in this community to talk about this and get facts right. Right, because not all facts are going to be friendly to our protagonist, if you will.
Yeah,
that's just how it is, and that's fine.
Ben made plenty of errors, and I agree, he made plenty of mistakes in what he decided to put in that video.
And he may not be done yet, but hopefully,
I don't know.
Hopefully, some sense from good legal minds will say, "Don't do that."
But yeah, that's that. I'll leave it with that.
There's a little bit of a line here. Don't to have the best case. Don't cross it, please.
And I will wrap this up by saying thank you.
Oh God, Rob's on.
Oh God.
Hi,
Jesus.
Rob. Good evening, or maybe good morning, Rob.
Who's ready for the after party, Rob?
I know, right? He's just
Yeah,
like
he wants to sneak in the back door to the speakeasy.
Right?
But I appreciate Echoes giving me a little bit of a platform to have my my little rants there, and like I appreciate everybody listening to me get real riled up about that. It's just, again, it's something that I get real passionate about, and like I can tell my voice is starting to like give out.
Deep Daddy needs to take some Tylenol or some NyQuil.
I need more liquid, and I need you to send Twink #1 over here to refill my fucking water bottle and make me some more tea, okay?
We've talked about the houseboys.
Failing me, Echoes.
We talked about the houseboys, Chief Daddy.
Well,
we don't get that much in YouTube ad revenue over here for your houseboys.
Fucking work on it already.
We won't talk about the ones that were disasters.
I still have to get my own drinks too, Jeep Daddy.
Echoes' tab with me is pretty fucking big right now. I'm just saying, but no, I appreciate that.
Go
and
big
honestly,
or go home.
I want to appreciate and shout out to Relic for hanging in there, for listening to me being really specific about shit that you said, and pushing back pretty hard on that. But keep it up. And like I said, I will anytime you want to talk, I'm happy to do so, and I promise I will not murder you.
Also, can you invite me to the panel just so I can listen?
Sure, it's fine. I'll even
maybe in the room where I have
Relic, I'll even let you wear it clothes because I don't want to get your wife upset.
Llama just wants to watch.
Boy, your llama is going to sit in the corner like a little weirdo.
Taking notes on a spreadsheet.
That's right. Excuse me, I need your leg to lift up higher. I'm trying to draw this.
There's
the hierarchy of the pyramid.
Yes, the pyramid of Mormonism.
No. Well, thank you guys so much. I love it.
All right, Echoes,
well, thank you for
do what you need to do.
Yeah, thank you for coming on, Mama. I know it's late for you too, or it's getting to be late.
I mean, it's only 2 in the morning.
Yeah,
it's true. I'm a rock star.
So I will keep this short and sweet because it is running late. But thanks everybody for joining us, even for the difficult conversations. And it's good. It's important we be adults and we do those things. Yeah. Otherwise, we're going to lose freedoms we've got. Because as more of these people try and take advantage of the system when it avails them, more innocent people will be harmed. And that's not a good thing for our country, regardless of your political affiliation. So we've got to talk. We've got to follow truth and facts wherever it leads, and carry on and do unto your neighbors the good things you wish to be done to you. I'll use a Mormon turn of phrase, almost.
That's a great way to cap it out.
I know. So on that very note, everybody, good night and bye.